Well, hello everybody. I hope you enjoyed your lunch break. Billy Grace speaking to you again from Vox Villa. Flags are actually in and we're ready to get going if it wasn't for the fact that we don't have a car on the start line. I think the one-day competitors just taking a little bit more time as they've had their lunch and their first timed runs just before lunch, before heading out again now for their practice run 2, and then they will have their second time run before the end of play. So you're about to see the cars you've just seen. So batch 1 again. In fact, there is now a car coming to the start line, which is good. So we will have some action for you shortly. It is what looks like car number 902 is what I'm expecting, which would be Jeff Pinch in the Allard, but we will wait and see. So just as a reminder, the cars you're seeing now are in the National Interclub one-day meetings. So they get 2 practice runs and 2 time runs today. This is their second practice run, so the runs you're seeing does not actually count towards their time runs for the day. This is a practice run, and it is Jeff Pinch in the Allard on the hill. Very pretty car. Sounds lovely as it went past me. I think it's automatic from what I could hear, but nice skinny tyres, which will quite helpful in weather like this. Going very well indeed. 3 little windscreen wipers working hard on the windscreen as he heads into bottom S. Lloyd, are you with me yet? Up the top of the hill somewhere? Not yet. So you've just got my voice whilst the other commentators get back into position. Good smooth run this is from Jeff. Heading up the finishing straight now, and we await a time shortly. Crosses the line to record a time of 50.19. Next on the hill, we've got number 917. This is a Renault Clio of Jonathan Green's. This is a 197 Sport. So again, I wish I had Lloyd in the other box because he knows these cars like the back of his hand. Jonathan also in the one-day meeting. Heading up the hill now, nice and neat and tidy. Windscreen wipers going as it is raining again down the bottom of the hill, even though it's starting to look slightly brighter overhead. It is probably quite a bit wetter than when these competitors headed up the hill only a couple of minutes ago. Anyway, Jonathan into bottom S, nice and neat and tidy through the S's, gets right over to the left-hand side before swinging it through top S, carrying as much momentum as possible through the S's, heading up towards the finish. And we'll get a time shortly for Jonathan Green in the Clio. It is a 50.48, so slightly slower than Jeff Pinch, who will go before him. We now wait for a car. We don't have a car on the line at the minute. We're expecting, I was expecting 2 MGs of Nigel Sear and Matthias Schleinitz. And Matthias, sorry if I've pronounced that wrong, but I can't see them. Yes, I can. I can see an MG. It's coming to the line. It's the TF. By the looks of things, which would make that Matthias Schleinitz. Lining up on the start line now. In the MGTF, this with the Rover K Series, I believe, in the middle. Quite a nice car. These, they were making them up until recently. This actually looks like a slightly newer version, 53. So, but up until very recently, they actually started remaking some of these cars. But this would have been one of the last cars I suspect to come off the line at Longbridge, just up the road. Matthias come down from Lee, and it is an 1800, so that will be the 1.8 litre Rover K Series in the back of this, or in the middle, should I say. Nice engine chassis combination, good car this, and makes a very nice hill climb car indeed. Looks like he's got a folding hardtop as well on it, which he's well and truly got up to date. Right, leaves the line, past me in the little MG. Really interesting hardtop on that. I've not seen that before. It looks almost like a kind of coupe version, but looks great and going very well indeed as Nigel heads up the track. Nice and neat and tidy through kennel and crossing. It will be a bit slippery up there now with the amount of rain that's falling. Through the kick, windscreen wipers on full, braking into bottom S now, S approach speed of 52. Turns it nicely into bottom S, gets right over to the left-hand side before turning up through top S and heads up towards the finish. And again, we will have a time shortly for him. What time did he do earlier? I'll see if I can get what time he did in his run earlier. So time for Nigel Sears of 48.66, so quickest of the three that we've just seen. And what was his time from, well, only not very long ago at all. I will get that now. Let's see what I can find. So he did a 47.01, so slightly slower, which one would expect given that it is quite a lot wetter than when they ran earlier, even though it is definitely getting brighter overhead. Right, that's the end of the batch. That was batch 1, just a quick little batch. Those cars will all then return down the hill, and then we will have batch 2, which is made up of some Austin 7s, some more MGs, some midgets and some MGBs, etc., and another Clio, and a few other bits and bobs as well, including Will Goff in the very pretty Alfa Romeo 4C. That car will be heading up as well. So lots to look forward to in the next batch. So whilst we've got a little bit of a break, why don't I tell you about, if you've not got a programme, by the way, I would recommend them. They're for sale at all loads of different points up and down the hill, but they are extremely handy for telling you what's going on. Let me also tell you about becoming a member of the MAC. So Shelsley Walsh, the oldest continually used motor racing venue in the world that still operates on its original course, and you can help to support that by becoming a member of the MAC. And not only do you get access to the members area here at Shelsley, but also it includes entry to all the events that are coming up this year. So we will have, for example, we've got the Classic Nostalgia coming up later in the year. We've got the British Championship back here in August. We've got the Harvest Festival in September. There's Bike Bonanza in July, the Vintage Meeting in July as well. Loads and loads going on. Lots to watch. So if you love Shelsley like I do, and you want to see it here for the next 125 years, then get yourself down to the members' tent. There's a little shed, which is just between the first and second corners between Kendall and Crossing. There's a big sign on it that says "Join the MAC today." You can't miss it, and have a chat with the lovely ladies and gentlemen in there about joining the MAC, the cost, and the benefits of doing so. But I can't recommend it strongly enough to help support this wonderful venue. So we are, as I said, in the national meeting classes. Those are the cars that are just running today for the Interclub meeting. The Interclub, we've had a couple of cars already, one from the MG Car Club. So we've got a big MG Car Club speed meet today, which has got a mixture of TFs, MGBs, midgets, MGAs, loads of different MGs to feast your eyes upon. And we've also got then the normal class cars for sort of road cars up to 2 litres, over 2 litres. There's the JDC 4 Hill Sprint Championship as well. So lots of different cars to see in the one-day meeting. Right, flags are in, so we're about to have another car on the hill. Rain is still a-falling. We've got Ron Dowell on the start line in the Allard A2. Slides and slithers his way off the start line in the Allard. Nicely done. No paint on this car, just clean aluminium bodywork. Ron already into kennel. Lots of power in the front of it. Not much grip at all, so quite a handful in conditions like this. Heading up the hill now through Kendall and Crossing, nice and neat and tidy through Crossing, taking it nice and steady given the weather. And heads up towards Bottom S now. So this is the Allard Owners Club that these cars are in. We've then got John Langley leaves the line in front of me in the Allard you just saw, but now in the hands of John Langley. Again, slips and slides his way through Kendall and Crossing. Big sound of the V8 sort of burbling away in the front, and not very much grip from the rear, so quite a handful in the weather. Ron Dow, by the way, has done a 58.86. Jeff Pinch earlier did a 50.19. Let's see what John Langley can do as he breaks into bottom S at 50 miles an hour. In the meantime, at the start line, we've got the first of the Austin 7s coming to the line. They do look tiny, don't they, these cars? But great fun little hill climb car. Quite a handful, I suspect, in this weather. But an iconic British sports car, the Austin 7, or they are absolutely lovely. Really shows sort of Shelsley in a bygone era, really, so it's great to have them here and competing. Time for John Langley was a 52.60 as he slots into second place in the Allard Owners Club. Right, we're now back into the Burt Hadley Memorial pre-war Austin 7 class. Leaves the line, there's Paul Harris in front of me. Heads up towards Kennel. Foot to the floor. I wonder if he'll lift before he gets to bottom S. Even in these conditions, he might have to. In the lovely Austin 7 Ulster replica. Just a quick message for everyone listening on the hill. There is a very expensive set of car keys has been found in the bookshop in the paddock down here. I don't know if it's the car keys themselves that are expensive or the car to which they belong. But if you have lost your car keys to what I've heard, I assume is a very expensive car, and you'd like them back, then please do go to the paddock office, which is right just before the pre-start area by the start line is the paddock office. Please go to the paddock office, tell them what car you've got, and you'll be reunited with your car keys today. If you've not done so by this evening and you'd like to swap with my car, I'd happily take your very expensive car home, but I'm presuming you want your expensive car back. So please do head to the paddock office to get your keys. Thank you. Meanwhile, on the hill, we've just had Paul Harris go up Joe Spicer went up in a very quick 49.38 in his Austin 7. We've now gone back into MG land. We've got David Jones on the hill in another MGTF. This, the 160 versus this with the 1.6 later K series, heads up towards the finish now, followed by Stephen Walkins in the MG midget. This is a quick between Crossing and the Kink, which is very unfortunate indeed. But the marshals from the Kink have quickly gone to the driver's aid just to check that he is okay after hitting the tyres. It did dislodge one of the tyres in the bank, so there may be a little bit of a delay whilst that is fixed, unfortunately caught out by the weather conditions today. I'll give you the time for David Jones whilst in the meantime, who was the MGTF. That was a 52.24, but unfortunately Stephen Watkins in the MG midget will be a failed run. So whilst we await for the clean-up and the marshals to sort out the issue, we've got flags on the hill. So the marshals up at crossing attending to the incident, taking all the necessary precautions, making sure that everything is all right before the driver gets out of the car. So yes, in the meantime, let me talk to you a little bit about what we've got coming up in the next couple of days, and then also what you can look forward to coming up at Shelsley for the rest of the year. So we have the one-day national meeting today, which we're currently watching, as well as practice for the British Hill Climb Championship. Tomorrow you will have 2 runoffs for the British Hill Climb Championship, one just before lunch and one at the end of the day. All national competitors will get another practice run tomorrow morning before having their timed run, and then a runoff, then their other timed run, and then another runoff. And it does promise to be a pretty exciting day, with especially if it dries out, given that there is the new surface down here at Shelsley Walsh. But what a fantastic way to celebrate, as we are this year, the 125th anniversary of the MAC, which is fantastic to see. And in the championship as we stand, it's actually after an incredibly consistent start to the year, Will Hall that leads the way, closely followed by Matt Ryder and Wallace Mingus, with Matt having an incredibly strong season, apart from one runoff at Harewood, where unfortunately the car decided not to play ball in the first runoff, which meant he didn't score in that runoff, which was a shame. Also a fantastic season so far from Wallace Mingus, and it really is those 3 that are neck and neck in the Drivers' Championship thus far, with still an incredibly long way to go. We've still got another meeting here in August. We've still got to go to Doon twice, I think, and as well as going to the Channel Islands and Loughton Park and Prescott. So loads of competition still to go. If you need a date for your a couple of dates for your diaries for things happening here at Shelsley Walsh that really shouldn't be missed, the first of those is Classic Nostalgia on the 18th and 19th of July, which is an absolutely brilliant event. If you've not been before, I can't recommend it enough. It's an absolutely fantastic weekend, jam-packed action here at Shelsley of just an incredible range of historic vehicles. It's a weekend not to be missed. Then the 8th and 9th is when the championship is back here. 8th and 9th of August is when the British Hill Climb Championship returns to Shelsley Walsh. That will be a brilliant weekend, because not only will we have 2 runoffs here at Shelsley, but we will also have the return of the Tin Top Challenge, which will include a runoff for closed roof vehicles. The competition in that this year is going to be incredibly fierce. You can expect Stephen Darley, who's here today, to be right at the forefront. Damien Bradley will be back as well in his incredible legacy. Both Scott and Roger Moran. I think Scott's going to be driving the incredible green Mitsubishi Evo 8 that he now has, that's something like 800 horsepower, with Roger in the Ford, and I don't know if it's a Fiesta or a Focus, WX Greek hill climb car that is built by Oldsbergs out in Sweden, which, for those of you that know their fast forwards when it comes to rallycross, there isn't anybody that knows how to get more power out of a four-wheel drive Fiesta than Oldsbergs. That car will be back here, as well as the incredible Audi that won the Tin Tops last time we were here, the Tin Top Challenge. So that is something that is really worth watching. Incredible range of cars that we're going to have here in August. So there'll be a runoff for the Tin Tops. There'll be two runoffs for the national competitors as well. So that will be in August. By the way, I should just let you know, for those in the paddock, that the driver is out of the car at the kink. So the marshals and the safety team doing a fantastic job to see to him, to make sure he's all right. But he is now out of the car, which is great to hear. And then he will be given the once over by our safety team and our medics, whilst the marshals remove the car and do any repairs to the barrier that need to be done. But yes, so going to be a fantastic day tomorrow and a fantastic day in August. And it's a bit wet this weekend, but given that Shelsley has now been re-tarmacked, a dry August weekend, I think, would be a shoo-in for the record to be under threat, the overall hill record, which has stood since 2021, as well as the closed car record, which I would also expect to be under threat, given that the Tintock Challenge will be in town. So just as a reminder, what does the record stand at the moment? It is actually the outright record set in August 2021 is held by Sean Gould with a 22.37 second run. Absolutely stunning. It was a remarkable runoff where that time got set, where Sean, Alex, Summers and Wallace all went under the existing record, which was phenomenal. So I think the 22.37, if it's dry when we come back here in August, it may even be under threat tomorrow if it's dry, but I think the weather may not play ball. But if it's a dry August meeting, that record, I think, will be under threat, given that it's a lot smoother. They've retarmacked the entire hill, lots of grip, but also got rid of all the bumps through the kink, which if you were here last year and you saw the single-seaters go over those, it was getting quite bumpy. So that's going to be fun to see. Also, the ladies' record of 24.70, which was set by Nicola Mingis at that same August meeting. I'm sure if it's dry in August, Nicola will have her eye on that record as well. So that will be lots to look forward to tomorrow and also in August. And as I said, if you want to support Shelsley Walsh, if you love it here as much as I do, then do go and have a chat to the lovely people in the MAC hut, which is halfway between Kennel and Crossing, so between corners 1 and 2, about joining the MAC. They'll tell you about all the brilliant benefits that there are of doing so, as well as the costs and how much it will cost you, but actually how much it will save you because of all the savings that you will have coming to all the rest of the meetings this year. Lloyd has actually stood next to me as well before he heads up Mount Shelsley to Top Box as we await the resumption of this second batch after the slight incident that we've had. I did see a tyre was dislodged actually from the bank, so it could be a little bit of rectification work before we get going. Oh, hang on, passing on to Lloyd.
Hello, Lloyd here. I'm just stood in the box with Billy whilst we wait for this sort of stoppage to be cleared so we can continue. Billy, ever modest, he's from the world of hill climbing. We don't see or hear from Billy as often as we would love to due to busy life and families being started and marriages beginning, but we love having him here. Modest enough, he's always been in the paddock, son of the great David Grace, and so I thought what we'd do, let's get to know Billy a little bit more, shall we? So let's have an impromptu interview with Billy Grace. Billy, where did this all start for you, and where did you, I suppose, first realise that you were quite as involved with this as you first thought you were?
That's a good question. I don't know. First hill climb, I can't remember. I was probably about half a year old. And I've been coming since I was born, so since the 90s, and that was when Dad competed in the 90s. So coming here as a little lad, and then started commentating here. 2015, 16, I suppose, something like that.
And what was the kind of thing that made you think, well, I'll commentate rather than have a go?
It's cheaper.
Well, I suppose there is that. Yes, I suppose it is a bit cheaper. Yes, that's probably quite a good way of putting it. But was there ever like a thought of I'll have a go, I'll have a drive, or was there ever any kind of come on, your dad can do it, you can do it as well?
I'd love to have a go, but I don't know. I think talking about it seems to suit me quite well. So it's a great way to be involved with it, but not have to own a hill climb car, which they're quite expensive. And it's I like talking about it. And I've done a bit of this kind of stuff for my previous employer at Nissan when I went to Le Mans. We did a live broadcast from there. So then I started here. I remember the first time I did it here, I was really nervous. I was in top box. I just you don't want to get it wrong, do you?
No, you don't want to get it wrong. You don't want to say anything you shouldn't say. But it's funny because you say that you started in 2015. I started in 2021 when I answered the call of an Instagram post saying, "Do you see yourself as the next Murray Walker?" And I remember starting at a club day. I'd had a couple of glasses of wine, as you do in COVID, and I was sat thinking I could do that. Just thinking I could talk about cars. Didn't realise quite how difficult it is to kind of just sort of say what you see and get your words out. It's quite a tricky skill that you do very well, Billy.
You charmer. I do remember, though, the runoff where Sean broke the record. I was slightly speechless, actually, as that Sean run was happening. I was in middle box, so I could see him between Kennel and the bottom S, which on that day was only about 10 seconds, and a hell of a lot happened. And the speed and the commitment and how early he was on the power, and how all three of them, actually, Alex, it was Alex Wallace and Sean, were just so committed on their runs, one after the other, and it was genuinely speechless kind of moment seeing these cars go through there at those speeds.
Well, because the record fell 3 times, didn't it? So it was. So what was it about that day? What was the perfect? What was the setup? And what was it? Was it anticipated, or was everybody sat there thinking it's going to happen?
I don't know. I don't think the hill had been retarmacked, if my memory serves. But it was perfect temperature. It wasn't too hot, but it was warm and it was dry, and there'd been a season of rubber down on the hill, which really helped. And then I think also at that time, I seem to remember we were in the midst of a tyre war between Avon and Pirelli. So both. And I can't remember who was on Pirellis and who was on Avons. In fact, I can tell you what Sean was on because there's a picture in the programme. I think he was on Avons. I think, but anyway, it doesn't matter. Because of that, the tyres of both manufacturers had both had to take a step on because of the other. So that the tyres were brilliant that year. And I remember actually they did a couple of meetings here during the COVID era, which weren't open to the public, but were sort of almost tests. And Sean and Alex, in those meetings, and they weren't for points, had got really close to the record. And I thought, interesting. So then when we had August 2021, and I think maybe June was wet. I can't remember. But for whatever reason, August, the conditions were just perfect. And the three of them were driving so well. This was actually before Matt Ryder was in the big car, I think.
Matt was still in a single seat, still in the Formula Ford at that point, I think, wasn't he? Just about. Was he still in the oh, yeah.
He didn't hear it. If he heard say that, I was only joking. And it just all came together. And also, not only did we have those three, but we also had Nicola go under the ladies' record, which had stood for a long time, which was a brilliant moment to be in. And she was well into the 24s, which there's a handful of people in the world that have ever been up Shelsley Walsh in sub 25. Unfortunately, then the second runoff, which she qualified for the second runoff that day, and we thought, is the record going to go? She might take a bit more off it, and the gearbox gave up on the start line, which was horrible. Yeah. Everyone was gutted for her, but she'd already done the record that day, at least.
I remember that as well, because it must have been.
At the top. I know it was Al at the top.
I was at the bottom, I was on the start line watching it, and but there was a great sense of disappointment and sort of, what's the word I'm looking for? Kind of sympathy, I suppose. It was an output.
When the gearbox broke, yeah, that was horrible.
Yeah, absolutely. But
anyway, it was just a brilliant day. Yeah, it was a fantastic day. And then I think since then, with the advent of the Tin Top Challenge, obviously the closed car record is gone. So Damien Bradley broke that. When was it? August 24, so a year and a half ago. God, it's already a year and a half ago.
Yeah.
And I think that's going to be under threat again if it's dry in August, because none of them have been here since it's been re-tarmacked. And with the advent of the tin top challenge, all of a sudden the competition in closed cars has gone up a level, with Damien and Stephen Moore and both Morans.
Well, Moran Senior has now bought himself, what is it? Is it 1,200 brake horsepower Evo, supercharged and turbocharged? Is it this hill climb Evo?
I think that's the one that Scott's in, the green one.
Yes.
Yeah. Roger's got the ex-Greek hill climb championship Focus, is it? Which was built by Oldsbergs.
Fabia.
No, he sold the Fabia. It's a Ford now.
Has he? Oh.
And it built by Oldsbergs, which, as I said a minute ago, for those of you that know rallycross or fast Fords, you'll have heard of Oldsbergs. They are the Ford gurus of those cars. So, and don't forget that between Scott and Roger, there are 7 British Championship wins.
Yes.
Roger in 1997, and then Scott 6 times in the noughties.
Yeah.
So I think that's going to be amazing. And then we've got that Audi, and the name of the guy who drives it's gone completely out of my head.
Simon Bainbridge.
Thank you, Simon Bainbridge, who has won the tin top last time we were here. And he's getting quicker and quicker in that, because he's relatively new to hill climbing, having been a sprinter, still sprints, and time attack. So I think it's all to play for. We could see all the records go in one day.
Whatever happened to was it a twin turbocharged 6R4 Ian Rowlands? That was the previous closed record car.
Last I saw that was here, and last I saw it was for sale, but for a lot of money.
It's not going to be a cheap car, that I would have thought.
6 figures. It was for sale for 6 figures. I don't know if he's still got it or if it's for sale, but that was quite a piece of kit. But also Damien's decided to attach a massive wing to his car.
Well, do we think he's sort of gearing up for the rumour mill start, a Masters?
Oh, if there is one, he'll go. Yeah, but I don't know if I'd heard a rumour that there was talk about the Masters, but I haven't heard anything else. So for those of you that may not be aware, there was four, wasn't there? There was 4 of them. European Hill Climb Masters events, where we got the best hill climbers from all around Europe into the same place 4 times leading up to COVID, for an end of the year who's the best of the best from all of Europe. A phenomenal event. And 27 countries I think we had represented last time we did it, everywhere from obviously the UK. We took about 20 cars, everywhere from Hungary to Ireland to Kosovo. Amazing events. All the Italian competitors there that are the guys to beat in Europe, the French guys who are incredibly quick, the Polish team who had about 6 million horsepower Evos, the Swiss with Rita Maisel in his Judd Le Mans engined Mercedes SLK, which is, if you've not seen that, go home tonight and Google Rita Maisel, don't know how you spell it, I think it's MEISEL, Mercedes SLK Judd. Just Google that. What a thing that is. And unfortunately, anyway, so last time we went, apart from Rito, Damien Bradley was second in class overall, apart from that SLK Batmobile, which wasn't supposed to be in the class, but got moved into the class, and that's another story for another day. But there is talk of maybe at some point the Masters will return. I really, really hope it does, because it was the most incredible event I think I've ever been involved in. When we went to, you came with me.
Well, this is it. This is a segue, I suppose. Is I actually met Billy for the first time at Luton Airport, because after that week where I did my first ever hill climb here, I got a phone call saying, "Fancy going to Portugal?" I was like, "Okay." And so it's all right. There's a chap called Billy Grace. I'll take you under his wing. He'll show you what to do. I was like, okay, fine. So met you at Luton Airport. We were talking through. We actually sat next to Rob Holding from Arsenal Football Club, didn't we, on the plane? Which was. Do you remember him? Oh, Rob Holding. What a lovely bloke he was, to be fair. So me and Billy were sat talking through all of the competitors and what's what and how it all goes. And we were in a truck for most of it, weren't we? Because it was all live streamed and everything. And
well, I was. You were on the start line in the sunshine, interviewing drivers in Portugal.
Yeah.
Getting your tan on.
Yeah.
Talking to everyone on the start line, like Martin Brundle. and I was in a transit van. Other van makers are available, staring at some screens, and there wasn't a window because it was too dark, so I didn't see actually a car all day. And I think we stopped 3 times for 3 wee breaks the entire day, from 8 a.m. to about 6. I watch it back. I wasn't making that much sense in the last runs because I was getting a bit tired. But what an event! Just incredible.
It was an amazing, and I'll tell you the thing that stood out for me is when we did manage to get up and have it, because we did have a wander up the course and sort of see what we could see. I think the closest, the Portuguese fans are amazing anyway. Their passion for motorsport is incredible. But can you imagine a nice, it was a dual track road up the side of a mountain to a very high point, as you can imagine being a hill climb. One of the best things I think I've ever seen is Wallace Menges and Alex Summers coming past in their British cars. They'd never seen, the European fast cars are a lot different. They look like sort of Le Mans prototypes, whereas our cars they look to them as like Formula 1 cars. And seeing Wallace, Alex, Will, all the people coming past in their single-seaters, and I remember Will coming past, and it was like Wallace coming past, and the look of disbelief on the faces of, and the whole atmosphere and the crowd reaction to our really quick British cars was like something of Group B days, wasn't it?
It was impressive, yeah. And our cars aren't quite as quick through the corners because the sports cars of Europe, well, firstly, the Europeans are much more used to the wider road-based hill climbs that the Masters is at, whereas our guys are more used to the Shelsley Walsh, which is very narrow, actually quite smooth, but very narrow. So you don't have as much of the road to use, whereas the first thing that our guys have to learn, and bear in mind they go to these hills that they've never been to, whereas all the Europeans go every year. It'd be a bit like having the Masters here at Shelsley and asking the European guys to be as quick as our guys. But trying to learn to use all of the road because it's so wide is quite a big learning experience. And then our cars don't actually quite have the downforce. You think our cars have a lot of downforce, but theirs have, because they're sports cars, much bigger floors and wings, so they're actually quicker through the corners, whereas they're slightly heavier and not quite as powerful, so they're not quite as quick in a straight line. Having said that, actually some of the French cars are now getting as quick in a straight line as well. But it's just a phenomenal event. And yeah, you're right, the impact, and it was Wallace's car, which, as you will hear when it goes up here, sounds like an Indy car. Everyone was just blown away by it. But there was 50,000 people there to watch. That's for those of you that have not, check it out on YouTube. All the coverage is still there, and it was a phenomenal event. But there was 50,000 people there. We took, I think, the second. I think there was Portugal. Obviously, that one had the most cars because it was their local hill. I think then we were second, maybe with Italy. So we took about 20 cars, I think it was.
Well, I'm trying to remember who went. So we had from memory, it was Alex, Wallace,
Will.
Sean.
Did Will go? No.
I can't remember Will going actually.
He went to the one before, but maybe I don't know.
Sean went. Davey Wren.
Yeah. Or was it Nicola?
Or was it Nicola? Might have been Nicola. The car was there.
Dave Warburton.
Dave Warburton.
Matt.
Who else?
Was Tom Weaver there?
Damien. Tom Weaver was there in the Formula Ford. Damien was there in the Legacy.
Yeah.
I'm trying to think of a few others. I'm sure there were more.
There were loads.
I'm missing. Olivia Cooper, was she there?
Yeah.
Yeah. Olivia was there.
Which meant it was Dave, not Nick.
Dave. Darren and Paul.
Went to watch.
Yeah. But either way, it's a fantastically supported event, and we talk about the Masters as so wistfully. Go on.
No. There was about 20 cars there. It was amazing. Really cool.
Yeah, it was phenomenal. So if you do get a chance to have a look, and as Billy quite rightly says, 2 things. Your homework tonight is Braga 2021, and then
Gubbio.
No,
Braga was
Braga was 2021. Braga was 2021. Braga was 2021. And Gubbio 2018, because that's where Scott Moran's video. Scott Moran's done an onboard, and I think it's done 10 million views on YouTube. And then you need to go and have a look at Rito Meisel with the Judd V8 Mercedes, because you are quite right, Billy. It's one of the greatest noises, I think, of all time. But it looks like it might happen again. It might happen again. Fingers crossed.
That's the rumour. It would be lovely if it could, because since the last one, there are the tin top contingent here in the UK has taken a big step forward, as we spoke about. Matt is now in a big car. Alex, if it would have his new P80, which would be amazing to see in Europe. All the GR59s now have more aero, which would be pretty cool. Yeah. It would be a really special event to do again, as well as some of the European cars. The European cars have taken another step on as well, with their most of them now drive what's called a Nova, which they are phenomenal. The French cars are really quick now because they're all turbocharged.
Sellers?
They're seller. You don't see many of them anymore because they haven't built a new one.
So what are the likes of Merley and is it all Novas? Is it now? And they've still got. Are they Judds in the back of those?
So don't know. No, a lot of various different 3-litre V8 manufacturers. Judd, not so much. There is a Nick Mac. I think a lot of them are Zytec. I think quite a few of them are, if memory serves. Cosworth, a couple of Cosworths. And then all the French cars are 4-cylinder turbos now. Various manufacturers of them up to 2 litres, but in Europe you can only use a smaller turbocharged engine it's to do with the equalisation between 3-litre V8s and something turbocharged. And actually you've got a few other quick guys. So Fagioli only does the Italian Championship now. Merli still does the European Championship, but you've got some guys that are challenging now. Iraola, I think it is. He might be, but Iraola, I think his name is, from Joseph from Spain. He's very quick. He won. Yes. I think he won the last one very recently, which was Braga.
Was it Braga? Yes, it was.
It rained. Brave.
Rampa del Falparo.
That's it, Falparo, Braga. Yeah. And then also one of the guys from the Czech Republic has stepped up into the top class as well, and he is pushing Merli really closely. Stop asking me names. I can't remember. Fast man. Anyway, so if they redo it, it will be really worth going to. Just quickly, just to bring us back closer to home, they are still tidying up at the kink. The car, so that the driver has departed the scene. I think the medical team just check him over, make sure he's okay, and then the car is on the back of a low loader at the kink, and some spades are being used to just fix the bank on the entry to the kink before the Armco. It definitely dislodged a tyre and a bit of a bank, so they're just doing a bit of rebuilding of that. And there is mud on the road, so that will require some sweeping, I think. There we go. Master's just started sweeping it, just as I said it. So anyway, I will keep you updated as to when we are going to be underway again. I suspect it's another 5 or 10 minutes, if I'm honest. And well done, all of you, for being so sticking with us with the weather. I know it's wet out there, and I can see lots of you up at Crossing and up towards the kink. I'm hoping this rain hasn't set in for the day and does pass through, but well done for persevering.
Indeed. Well, I'm going to make my way up to the hill very shortly, but Billy, I've enjoyed our little chat. It's very rare that we get the time, to be honest, to sort of have these little candid chats, unless I'm at the top, but I just thought I'd join you in Vox.
Well, just before we go, we've talked about me, let's just quickly talk about you, because you've done an incredibly brave thing in the last few years, and you started your own business, Driving Heroes, yes, buying and selling some incredible cars. Tell us about a friend of yours who came to visit, your new best friend.
Well, he was my best friend before he knew he was my best friend. Before
he just didn't know it.
He just didn't know it. Well, we had a Citroen AX GT, and Chris Harris bought that from us. And I think the hardest part of the whole transaction was trying to downplay how much of a fan I was. Because obviously I was that. If you're a fan of Chris Harris, you're a fan because he's just the man, isn't he? He just speaks for normal petrol heads rather than everybody that's into Ferraris and Lamborghinis. So, it started a little business before COVID, and I was buying and selling $5,000 things that I was enjoying doing up and selling, and having little 197 Clios, Suzuki Swift Sports, things like that. And I was made redundant from a job I wasn't enjoying in COVID, well, just after COVID, and then took another job I didn't enjoy, and then took another job I didn't enjoy, and then it got to a point where I was like, well, I feel like if I'm ever going to do it, I might as well do it. Have a go myself, because the buying and selling of the little £5 things was actually paying for holidays and things like that. So I thought, well, let's make it a business. So I did. Me and my best mate, we both sort of took the plunge. If not now, then when? So delighted to say 2 years in, it's sort of starting to make sense, really. So a couple of Porsches and a Mustang coming in next week, but mostly it is built around French hot hatchery,
which you know a bit about.
I do know a little bit about, but it's I think it's the kind of brain I have where I couldn't tell you what I had for breakfast yesterday, but I could tell you exactly what you need to know about Clios and 106s and the Marcus and Megane RS 280s and what so and so said about them in what magazine from what year at what test. So yeah, it has turned into a little business, and I'm quite pleased that it has, because it's actually the enjoying driving lots of different things is actually what I enjoy most.
Good for you, doing something you love. That's excellent. And I will say, quick plug for you: if you are in looking out for some really special little fun hot hatch, especially, but anything that's a petrol head's dream, you need to check out Driving Heroes, because they've got some incredible cars.
Well, I'll tell you as well, and thank you, Billy. And I'll tell you the thing as well is we will buy anything interesting, and also, I mean, just yesterday I had a barn find Clio Williams with 12,000 miles on the clock, and it was just as it was, and so I'll buy and sell barn finds as well, and all that kind of interesting stuff. But I buy anything interesting. So if you want to go to my website or Instagram, Driving Heroes. You'll find us, and if you've got something interesting to sell, let me know. Billy, we were talking about the Euro Millions earlier, but just one last question before I make my way up the hill, just while we're waiting for this to be all tidied up and scraped up. Talking about the Euro Millions, let's say you mentioned it earlier, you wouldn't have a go because it's quite expensive, but I feel like I owe you the courtesy of asking, if you were to win the Euro Millions, what would you be turning up on the start line then at the next Shelsley Walsh?
Helicopter? Quick. Really quick.
Well, I don't think there is a record for helicopter up here, is there? No,
not yet. I think they struggle to get under the start line banner. But what would I have? That's a good question. I'll tweak the question slightly and say, what would I have that's in the paddock today? I do love that Porsche-powered Lola sports car with the flat six at the back. Sounds beautiful. And also, in some of the production class cars, those Cayman GT4Ss are very nice.
Yes. Well, I completely. I think if it's got a roof on it, I think for me, I wouldn't mind making Stephen Darley an offer for the Red Baron, and see if he might fancy. Look, I'll buy that one. You build Red Baron 2, and I'll have that one. And we'll have a team. But I think you only live once, so I think it's got to be a GR59.
I'd love one, but I wouldn't know what to do with it.
Well, I'm going to make my way up to the top of the hill. It looks like we're probably not too far away. It looks like they're going to use the boom of the lorry to sort of push the barrier back in. So that's the kind of the final. I think that's kind of end game. They're using the big tools. They've got some water. They're going to wash down the course. Shouldn't be too much longer. But we'll be back with you shortly. I'm just watching this on the. This is quite ingenious.
Yeah, they're trying to push the tyre back in. So the tyres are kind of part of the bank, and one of the tyres has come out. So. That MG does look a bit worse for wear, doesn't it? Bless it, the one that had the incident. But yeah, I think he just lost it in the wet. No, that's definitely done for the weekend, unfortunately. But yeah, they're just sort of trying to fix the bank, and then there's quite a lot of mud that needs to be washed away, and they've got to, because it's on the apex of the kink, which with the fastest cars is one of the fastest parts of the course, because it's just after the kink they have the speed trap, isn't it? Yeah. So there will be some washing that has to be done. So I reckon we're probably another 20 minutes or so yet, which is a shame, but we've got to make sure the track is safe before we go racing. By the way, if you are in need of refreshment, I can't recommend enough the food actually in the cafe and the canteen, in the paddock, in the farmyard. Absolutely delicious. I had the Asian pork and rice, very tasty. What did you have today?
They do, and I have to have it every single time. It is it's like a pulled pork with some fries and like an American cheese. It is not good for you, but it is by far one of the things I look forward to most. apart from seeing Billy and seeing all the cars and all the other bits and pieces that come to Shelsley Walsh, I think, well, I'm going to have that pulled pork for lunch today. So do yourself a favour, get down to the Courtyard bar at some point, at the Courtyard canteen, I should say, and grab yourself some of that pulled pork. It is amazing.
I agree. I'm just looking through the programme, by the way, which, as I've said, you should get one if you don't have one. But you can actually rent out the Courtyard here for events, and I have seen a couple of weddings have happened here. It's actually in the sunshine. What a beautiful venue to have a wedding. It's absolutely stunning. And you can do corporate days here, and weddings and private functions, etc., etc. So it's really lovely, especially in the last 20 years or so since they renewed the lease here at Shelsley. The investment that's gone into this facility is brilliant, and it's great to see. It gets better every year. And I don't think it's running today, but the water mill that's behind us here near the start line is fully operational again. It got restored. It actually got subleased out to a group that restored it, the Dibners, as everybody calls them. And when it is running, that is really, really cool. And I did tell you some other events that you should consider coming to this year. I didn't also mention the Bike Bonanza. That is quite a cool event that happens later in the year. That's 4th of July. And it's in support of Midlands Air Ambulance Charity, which is a fantastic cause. So if you are around for that weekend, I'd highly recommend it. What else can I tell you about Shelsley Walsh, which I haven't told you already? By the way, what I didn't tell you about becoming a member of the MAC, which is the MAC runs Shelsley Walsh. Lloyd, 2 questions for you that every hill climber should know. Do you know what the emblem of the MAC, which is a rising sun, do you know why that is?
Do you know what? I do know what that is, but I'm going to let you answer.
That means he doesn't know. And it's from Sunrising Hill, which is, if you drive from Banbury to Stratford, you go down a very steep hill.
Yes.
On the A something.
46.
Is it the 46? I think it's 46. And Sunrising Hill is where the MAC ran their first event, even before here, I think. So that used to be a hill climb, Sunrising Hill. So yes, that's where the emblem comes from.
Every day's a school day, isn't it?
Every day is a school day. Yeah, that's very true. But yes, what I was telling you about the MAC, if you become a member of the MAC today, and help support this incredible hill for the next 125 years, you will get your money back from your entrance ticket for today. So in effect, you will support one of Britain's premier motorsport venues and get some money back, which sounds like a win-win to me. I would... Also, I'm just looking at the kind of things they sell in the shop, by the way, and I really want a Shelsley hoodie. I think they're really nice. Do you know they now sell Shelsley Walsh seat pads? So for those of us that have got to the end of the day watching at either Crossing or the Kink or Bottom S and may not be able to fully feel our posterior anymore, those days are gone if you buy yourself a Shelsley Walsh seat cushion for the benches up at Crossing and the Bottom S. So yeah, that's pretty cool. I didn't know that. So I'd go and have a look at the Shelsley shop. They have some fantastic stuff. They also have a really cool 2026 t-shirt. Also, have you ever wanted to drive? Oh, Lloyd's showing me the weather forecast. Don't show me that. It's not that bad. Also, we're in this the Team Valley where we are is a sort of weather, has its own weather, and I know that sounds silly, but it really does, because I've been here so many times and the weather is doing something completely different to here than it is in Worcester. Anyway, Lloyd, unfortunately we don't have 3 hours to spare, so you can't tell us about when you drove up here a couple of weeks ago. Strap in, ladies and gentlemen. Yeah, for the TED talk. But you tell us about that when you're next on. Yeah, I'll get the Shelsley royalty to turn your microphone down, and you can tell us about it. But you can actually drive your own car up here if you're interested. Chill on the hill on the September the 19th. which is drive your own car here at Shelsley Walsh. It's £143 for the whole day, or £123 if you're a member of the MAC, which, as I said, is another reason to become a member of the MAC. It also includes breakfast, and as we can attest to this morning, the breakfast is very tasty. You can also then have an extra passenger for just £10. You get a minimum of 5 runs. That's a minimum of 5 runs, which is loads of time on the hill. And from my experience, if you stay to the end of the day, you often get a few more, because some people tend to go home a bit early, or they've had enough, or they've done their runs and they head off. But there's still a couple of hours to go on the event, so it continues to run. And if you stay to the end, you often run even more than that. So a minimum of 5 runs. Right, so sorry, I stopped there. There's just an announcement being made over the tannoy to the competitors here in the paddock, because the kink is muddy, and the advice is to take care. I can see that on the screen as well. There is quite a bit of mud. For anybody who's running in a later batch, I wouldn't put it past you to go and have a little wander up the hill and go and have a look at the kink, because there's quite a bit of mud there, which needs to be moved, but it will be muddy as you go through the kink. Luckily, it is only practice for the main 2-day event today, but it could be that also it is raining, so for those on the 1-day event, I suspect we may have seen their fastest times, but we shall see. The good news is that hopefully means we are going to be running soon. I can just see they've got some massive barrels of water they're trying to use to actually wet the track more, to scrape the mud off, so that they can sweep the mud off the track. So anyway, we're a bit of time to go yet. Anyway, so yeah, Chill on the Hill, September the 19th. Lloyd, will you be here?
I'd like to think so. It depends when I go on holiday. I like a holiday, Billy.
Shelsley is a holiday.
Shelsley is a holiday. Shelsley is a holiday. If I have a time to be here, I will always be here. It's one of those events and venues, I should say, Shelsley Walsh, it's a bit of a jewel in the crown, I think, isn't it? So yeah, but Classic Nostalgia is a fantastic event. The atmosphere is superb. See it as you will, as a atmosphere first, track second, I think, almost. Classic Nostalgia. Yeah. There's lots and lots of things to do. It is a proper weekend out. Like it is the sort of thing you can soak up the atmosphere one day and then sit next to the track and see all the other bits and pieces coming up the hill the next day. So there is plenty on. It's a very, very good event, I have to say. So get your tickets booked for that. Come and enjoy that.
Amen to that, and yes, I would highly recommend Classic Nostalgia and Chill on the Hill, because you've driven the hill before, and I've been up it. It is incredibly steep, but it's amazing how quickly some of the speed you can carry. But yeah, I would recommend it. Were you here that couple of years ago when Piston did an event here? Yeah, that was a fantastic event when they did a Piston Distillery, local fantastic gin distillery, did an event here not too long ago, and had some incredible cars coming up the hill. But everybody, without exception, had a brilliant day and got loads of runs and really, really enjoyed themselves. I should just take you through our 2026 sponsors. I'm going to start on page 3 of the information I've been given. Because on here is a business called Driving Heroes. A business run by petrolheads for petrolheads, buying and selling used hot hatches and small sports cars in Worcester and the surrounding area. With over 30 years of professional experience, they will help you find your next car, combining performance and affordability. And the owners of Driving Heroes are also available for commentary if needed at any motorsport event across the UK. I added that bit for Lloyd, but honestly, do check them out. It's a fantastic company. We should also say thank you to Retroworks, who their mission is simple: to go above and beyond to keep retro cars on the road. Philip Serra Auctioneers and Valuers, who are one of Worcestershire's premier independent auction houses. Arc Racing. They design, develop and manufacture bespoke starter motor systems, high quality flywheels, and provide precision manufacturing for professional motorsport industry. They're local as well in Willenhall. Haggerty, who do fantastic car insurance for car lovers, really, and funny enough, they actually insure the Airstream, which my dad has, which is a 1980 for 7.4 litre V8 petrol Airstream, which is a bit niche and very difficult to find someone who knows what it is to insure it, but they do. Castrol Classic Oils, which is a fantastic global supplier of the Castrol Classic Lubricants range. Worldwide Projects and Events Limited, full-service exhibition contractor providing design, construction, steel fabrication, installation, graphics, complete project management and storage services. The Elms Hotel and Spa, which is in the beautiful hotel and spa in the countryside around Worcestershire. Alden Automotive, supplier of Weber carburetors and performance parts, which specialise in MGs, in Spridgets. Spridgets are MG Midgets and Austin Healey Sprites, for those that don't know, which is pretty much the same car. Triumph, sports and kit cars and Sebring body conversions. Thank you to them. Who else have we got? Brand Engineering, founded in 1981. Specialise in shafts, blining and low-volume machine parts for motorsport, SPM and rebar forming. Pembleton, born for the love of driving. They're actually a cycle car. The first cycle car was crafted in 1999 by ex-national hill climb champion and designer Phil Gregory. Oh, I know that name. Nestled deep in the Worcestershire countryside, the new generation of Pembleton sports cars are still lovingly hand-built in Bayton, nearby, in the very same workshops as old number one. And two more, the V12 Volt, which is in a discreet countryside location. They offer premium storage facility for your vintage, classic, sports and cherished vehicles. Very easy to get to from the M5. And finally, Fisher Performance Cars, which have over a century of combined expertise in performance car service, repair and sales. In fact, they're only just down the road as well. They are based at Chateau Impney, aren't they? Just by Chateau Impney. So thank you very much for all those fantastic businesses that sponsor us and keep us going. I've also found the bump of all the benefits of being an MAC member. So all grades of MAC membership, they include free spectator entrance to all Shelsley Run events run by the MAC, exclusive use of the members area, reduced entry fees for competitors events including the driving school, exclusive members day use of the hill, children under 16 spectate for free, dedicated parking, receipt of the club magazine and newsletter, free entrance to breakfast clubs, which are really great events, and Cars in the Valley events here at Shelsley, which are both fantastic. An active sports and classic section, discounts from our partners and selected suppliers, and I think most importantly, actually the satisfaction of belonging to this incredible club and keeping this incredible venue going. And there are a range of memberships, from a junior membership, a single membership, a joint membership. And a junior membership starts at as little as £40. So I would also, if you sign up this weekend, as I said, you get the money back for the ticket that you paid today. So go and have a word with everybody at the hut. In fact, if you're stood at Kennel at the first corner, and I can see you on the elevated section up there with your brollies up, if you look to your right, you can see the MAC hut. So there's no reason not to pop up there and have a word about becoming an MAC member if you haven't already. Hallelujah, the flags are in. We have a car coming to the start line. Some motorsport is about to happen, ladies and gentlemen, after 45 minutes of waffle from myself and from Lloyd. It looks like a car is about to be on the hill, which is great. And it looks like to me an MGA. It's number 209. So we are in, I think, batch 2, if memory serves. By the way, if those people that have already run in this batch, so they're at the top of the hill, if you've got a message for your families that you want to send back down, because you've been up there quite a long time, do let me know. But they've been up there quite some time at the top of the hill. Right, we've got 209 coming to the line. And that looks like an MGA to me. It is. It's Martin Wallacott in the MGA. Coupe, very pretty little car. I do like these. I really think they're very pretty. Going very well indeed. Peter, are you up in one of the boxes yet? Or are you still making way up the hill? Still making way up the hill. Okay, so here comes Martin Wallacott, the first person to go through the kink. They've done a pretty good job, actually, of getting some of the mud off there. It's slightly muddy right on the apex, but Martin gives the apex sensibly a nice wide berth, just in case, and heads up towards the S's. Oh, the flappy bollards are in place in bottom S, but anyway. So he heads up the hill towards the finish. Meanwhile, Dave Morris on the hill in the MGTC, going very well indeed. Heading through crossing now in the MGTC. again, give quite sensible line through the King, because drivers see the muddy patch for the first time, and heads towards bottom S. Right, we've got a time for Martin Wallacott of a 52.89 as he heads towards the finish. Now we've got Dave Morris crossing the line to do a 46.56, which is actually slightly quicker than he went this morning, which is great to see. In fact, I think that's fastest in class so far. Right, then Keith Benningfield on the hill in his MGTC, heading through the S's now. Followed up by Nat Kelsey in a Renault Clio 197 Sport, which looks like, it's riding slightly higher than I was normally seeing, but it may be that it's got some different tyres and suspension on it to go hill climbing. Nat going nicely in the Clio through crossing, heading up towards the King now. Nice and neat and tidy through there as well. Meanwhile, Keith Benningfield has crossed the line in a 46.99, so 0.4 of a second behind Dave Morris in the similar MG. In the meantime, Nat Kelsey in the Clio heads up through the S's, nice and neat and tidy through top S, slap bang in the middle of the road as Nat heads up towards the finish. Right, now we've got the MG. That's John Griffiths next on the hill in the TF. You've just seen this car in the last batch, but now with second driver installed with the sort of fast back, hard top roof on the MG TF. Nice, neat and tidy as it goes through crossing. Time, incidentally, for Nat Kelsey in the Renault is a 49.43. John Griffiths is heading up towards the bottom S now, taking it nice and steady. Just checking out the conditions after the stoppage we've had, and heads up towards the finish, and I will get you a time as soon as I can. Next off the line in front of me is the 218. This is a Vauxhall Corsa. This is Leo Billingham. Fantastic first hill climb car courses. You see these here quite regularly as a great first hill climb car. Working hard in the cabin there, as we can see from the cameras. Heads through the crossing, heading up towards the King. Gives the King apex a nice wide berth in light of a bit of mud down there, and heads up towards bottom S now. Time, by the way, for John Griffiths was a 53.24 in the MG, which is quite slightly quicker than first run of the morning, but a little bit slower than the second one. So about 0.2 off, not far off at all. Meanwhile, Leo Billingham crosses the line in the Corsa in a 57.68. Timothy Adams on the hill now, and says it's the Stuart Taylor R1, which to my eyes looks very much from the Locator Field family, so sort of Lotus 7-esque, Caterham-esque, Westfield-esque car. Very pretty little car, sounded like it had a bike engine in it to me. And heads up through the S's now. Right, next on the hill. Now, this is, I think, actually one of the prettiest cars here today. Absolutely stunning. This is Will Goff in his Alfa Romeo 4C, a regular competitor here in this car at Shelsley. Carbon fibre tub on these cars. Little, I think it's 1800cc, or is it 1750 turbocharged, 4-pot in the middle. Absolutely beautiful car. So glad Alfa made this. One of, I think, the prettiest cars here today, and heads up towards bottom S now. Time for Timothy Adams, by the way, was a 46.15 in the R1. As Wilgoff makes his way through the S's, Richard Watkinson joins the fun, leaving the start line in the MGB GT. So we're back into the MG meeting now, and Wilgoff incidentally does a 53.49, taking it nice and steady in these very wet conditions in a car that is quite a short wheelbase, so probably quite a handful, a bit twitchy in these conditions. Right, Richard Watkinson in the MGB GT has made it to bottom S, going very nicely indeed. Really important to carry as much speed through top S as you can, as Richard did, as he'll carry that momentum all the way to the finish. Did a 49.99 this morning for his first time. What can you do now? Quicker again, 49.49. That's good time from Richard Watkinson, so he's improving as the day goes on. So found another half a second there in his second practice run. Right, Robert Griffiths now in the MG Midget. These are pretty little cars, and lovely little hill climb cars as well. Light, all about carrying momentum though as you head up Shelsley in quite a slightly underpowered car. Going very well indeed is Robert, and again giving the kink a nice wide berth. It's not as muddy as I thought it was going to be. Actually, they've done a good job of cleaning that off, and cars through it and a bit of rain will really help get rid of the mud. So heads up towards the S's, whilst in front of me off the line is Ian Howlett in another MGTF. Again, pretty little cars these. This one in 03, so that'll be built in 2003. Meanwhile, time for Robert Griffiths in the Midget, 53.12. This looks like a quick time for Ian Howlett. What did he do early today? He's actually currently second in class on a 46.61. But these are practice runs rather than their timed runs. So the important one is what he can do a little bit later on. Actually, they'll come back down and run again. So in about half an hour or so, 20 minutes or so, we should see what he can do. But in the meantime, heads up towards the finish, does Ian Howlett. What did he do earlier? He did a 46.61. He goes a lot quicker. 44.90. He's found best part 2 seconds. So that bodes well for this afternoon's runs for him. Alan McFarlane now on the hill in the Mini Cooper John Cooper Works. Great cars these, built down in Cowley. BMW really did have done such a good job with the Mini brand since they took over. And heading up towards the finish, Alan McFarlane is now on the hill. Sorry, no, Simon Baker is now on the hill. It says it's a Ford Escort Mark II. It's definitely not. That is definitely a Porsche. Lovely white Porsche 911 Carrera. Love the duckbill. Oh, a bit twitchy as he came through the kink, but nothing to worry about. With the lovely sort of duckbill rear wing on it. Very pretty little car. Nice, neat and tidy through the S's. Bit of a handful in these conditions, a rear engine Porsche. Great traction off the line, but then bit of fun in the wet as he heads up the hill, but he's going very well indeed. Crosses the line 41.26, quicker by a second and a half than he went earlier on. So that is the end of the batch, which is great. Batch will now return to the paddock. Alan McFarlane, I don't know if I gave you his time in the Mini, it was a 45.98. In front of me, the recovery lorry is making its way back to its house at the first corner at Kennel after dropping off the unfortunate MG in the paddock that had the incident earlier on. So that's the end of the batch. Those cars will now come back down the hill. And now's where it gets a little bit complicated in batch 3, because the first cars you're going to see in batch 3 are actually 2-day runners. So you'll see the dual-driven 2-day runners cars. So they'll be from Class A1, and then we will go back to the cars from the 1-day meeting. And you'll see mostly Austin 7s in this batch, a little OMS as well, the Stuart Taylor R1, which was the sort of Caterham-looking vehicle we just saw, as well as a range of other vehicles as well for the 1-day meeting. But first things first, we'll see a few dual-driven cars. And just as a reminder, the reason they'll go at the beginning of the batch, these dual-driven cars, is it means when they release the cars from top paddock and they have to come back down the hill, they will get into the return paddock first and can start swapping drivers so their second driver can take over rather than being stuck at the back of the traffic jam whilst everybody else gets out of the way. So it just allows the meeting to progress that bit quicker. It was a change done 4 or 5 years or so ago now, I think. It's been a really good change, I think. Universally popular and has worked really well. So, flags on the hill just as the recovery vehicle makes its way into Kennel. And then cars will come back down the hill. In fact, thank you, Rich, for turning the camera on. But we have cars coming back down the hill from the top now. I can't work out if it looks greyer at the top of the hill or lighter. It's just sort of a bit consistent, but it is. I was going to say, is it still raining at the start line? Yes, very much so. So I think it does unfortunately look like this may have set in. However, as we've just seen from some of the times, that doesn't mean some of the cars that are in the 1-day meeting that are very much still learning the hill and had grease earlier and have then had rain, doesn't mean they won't get quicker in the slightly more consistent conditions that we've now got. So that doesn't mean we've seen the fastest times from the one-day cars that we will see. I don't think we'll see faster times from the single-seaters later on, but some of the cars we've just seen might carry on finding time. So those cars work their way back down the hill. And then we will get, well, it's Class A1, which is road cars up to, is it 2 litres? I'll have to remember. Which is, yeah, I was right, series production cars up to 2 litres. So those are pretty much standard cars as you could buy on the road, and they do need to be road legal to run in this class. And it's the battle really of the Clios versus the Exeges really, and the Elises, with a few additions. So we've got an MG ZR coming up, which is great, and the Citroen Saxo shared by Lizzie Weaver and Alan Foley as well. So not just all Clios and Exeges, but a really lovely range of cars in there. Very competitive class. Always a great battle, and in fact last time we were here there was a fantastic battle, and I think the record did fall in August to Rob Wilson in the Lotus Elise. It was Rob and Dad David having a fantastic battle with Jonathan Langmead all day, the three of them pushing each other quicker and quicker, and it was Rob who took the record that day and the class win. And I think David was very pleased for his son, but also slightly disappointed he didn't win the class, which is fair enough. But that was a fantastic battle last time we were here in August, and will, I expect, resume tomorrow between the three of them at least. Also great to see Lizzie Weaver in this class in her Saxo, which again a couple of years ago we were here and Lizzie had gone out, she hadn't entered that meeting. And her brother Tom and Dad Richard were sharing the single-seater, which had broken on Saturday, and so they borrowed Lizzie's Saxo. I didn't quite tell her, and I think it was that when she turned up she realised that all of a sudden they weren't in the single-seater, they were in her Saxo when she saw it leaving the start line, which was quite funny. Who have I got joining me? I heard a sniff.
Well, do you know what's funny? You're funny. No, you're funny.
Oh, stop it.
You're
funny.
Do
you remember that a few years ago when Lizzie turned up on the Sunday to watch, and she was like, "Oh, my car is actually competing." I said, "Oh, right."
I don't know. What you have to
very funny.
Wind back to just 10 minutes.
Tom and Richard Reeves' Empire. The Empire wasn't playing ball, so and Lizzie wasn't into that weekend, so they'd gone home on a Saturday to get her Saxo, but she was out, so they hadn't told her. But they bought it anyway. It was very funny. Anyway, Bob Penrose on the hill. We've got a Clio on the hill, an RS200, which Ted Talk will tell us about when I hand over to Lloyd, with Robert Penrose at the wheel.
Well, is that the same Robert Penrose that had that massive engined prototype thing? Well, that's a change of pace, it would seem, but he looks like he's going well. He's already at bottom S. This is a kind of good category, I think, for these kinds of good conditions for these kinds of things.
Yeah, front wheel drive would be quite helpful in this. Yes, you're right. He had a 7-litre V8 powered carbon fibre chassis Pilbeam sports car, which they say is very similar to Renault Clio.
Well, do you know what? Just as quick. Just as quick, if not quite as quick. But Clio FTD, which is Clio fastest time of day, I think.
It's a great number plate, isn't it? That's Maggie Richards on the hill now with a fantastic number plate. Clio CL10 FTD. I love that one. It's probably worth more than the car, the number plate.
It's not too bad, especially if you own a Clio and you're in the hill climb scene.
Exactly.
But Michael Thompson really having a good go past us in this Exige, really pressing on. So. Wow, really just a slight lift at King, hard on the brakes into bottom S, and just feeling for the grip.
Time, by the way, for Maggie Richards was a 45.22. Robert Penrose 46.33. Rob Wilson now on the hill in the Elise. As I said, record holder in this class, set that record in August last year.
Yeah, this is so they did have a Peugeot 205. It started life as a shopping car and ended up with a big 1.9 GTI engine in it. They kind of achieved everything they wanted in that car, and then moved into the Battle of the Elises with Jonathan Langmead, and Rob and David, father and son, drive this thing beautifully.
I think it was a case of if you can't beat them, join them.
Yes, I think you're probably right actually.
But yeah, it was a fantastic battle. I was saying just before you came on that last August between three of them, Rob David and Jonathan Langmead, and it was Rob that took the class record and the class win that day, and can't wait to see them resume battle tomorrow. Right, Lizzie Weaver on the hill, now that she's been given her Citroen back. She's with you.
Yeah. Absolutely, and this is a fantastic place to have your hill climbing, especially in the Saxo, because you can just pretty much stay flat the whole way from the start to bottom S, as I found out last week, because I don't know whether I mentioned it, I drove my car up the hill last week.
Did you?
But yes. Lizzie, hard on the brakes, only one brake, so that's really, she judged that really well into bottom S, she tips it in, so hopefully she'll be exiting top S now.
Yeah, exiting top S well, uses all the road on exit. Well done, Lizzie, heads up towards the finish. Not quite as much power as the Elises or the Renaults, and a bit more weight as well, but that's a good time, 46.19. She's gone 3 seconds quicker than she went this morning. Well done, Lizzie. Right, we're back to the one-day meeting. We've got Anthony Taylor in the Jaguar Aristocat, and a car I've not heard of before.
No, I think so. I think if I'm to judge this correctly, I think the Aristocat must be some sort of perhaps a resto modding situation, possibly, but it sounds like some sort of Jag V6, so maybe like the running work of an X-Type or something.
Yes, or an S-Type.
Yeah, yes.
No, I think so. But lovely looking car. Taking it nice and steady as he heads into the S's, as it's going to be quite slippy in a car with lots of power. In the meantime, another Aristocat Jaguar. This one's a C-Type version on the hill with you.
Yeah, this looks a bit more like the real deal, doesn't it? So if it is a kit car and it is a replica, this is quite a convincing one, it has to be said. It sounds proper, so it's obviously a straight six on carbs. Those knockoff centre splines glistening in the not quite sun, but it does look like, Billy, if I dare say it quietly, looks like it's brightening up at the top here, I can see.
Well, that's Kirsten for the rest of the day. Thank you, Lloyd.
Thank you.
It's not here. It's very much drizzling at the start line. But anyway, times for Anthony Taylor did a 52.59. Phil Taylor heading towards the finish. Meanwhile, Hayden Spedding leaving the line in his E-Type. Highly modded, very quick car. This will be quite a handful in these conditions. He's with you.
Yeah, absolutely, because it's running very, very wide section tyres, isn't it? Front and rear. Normally this car is running slicks, but I think he might be running a wet
today.
Not today. He's running wet. Is it running okay? Sounded like it had a little bit of a complaint then, but no, all back on 6 cylinders again. So tips it into bottom S, and he will be hopefully safely out of top S in no time.
Yeah, now we are back into the two-day meeting here, so this is only practice. So drivers wanting to... There isn't that much to learn in these conditions apart from how to ruin your weekend. So I think you've got to be careful in these conditions. Crosses the line, nice time, 45.65. Right, Miles Gulliver on the hill. Oh, misses a gear as he came past me. He's found one now in the MK Indy R, another sort of locator field-esque car.
Yeah, and I think of all the cars here, this is probably one of the trickiest cars here to drive today, because all the power's at the top, so you've got to be committed. There's no weight, there's no mass to it, and it's rear-wheel drive, so...
there's no weight over the rear wheels, is
there's no weight at all over the rear, so yeah, this is probably one of the most tricky cars to drive today.
Yeah, I was thinking that when I saw one of the Westfields that supercharged leave the line earlier.
Yeah.
That really is a handful. Right, we've got a Mini coming past me, slightly off cam at the minute, and I would say on 3 cylinders. But heading up the hill anyway, it's Josh Skinner in the Mini, pretty little Mini, didn't sound fully healthy as it left the line. See what you think when it gets to you. Time, sorry for Hayden, Spelling was a 45.65 in the Jag. Miles Gilliver did a 41.70.
Yeah, and still on 3. It was on 3 earlier, it's still on 3. Obviously some sort of issue that they can't get on top of, which is a real shame, because well, it just is, isn't it? You put all this time and effort. I think it might even be on 2 at this point, so if it can make it to the end, I'd be very surprised.
It's also burning oil, I think. I think it's going to stop
coming to as a whole, so I think I'd be flagging whatever's coming up next, if I'm honest.
Yeah, we've just had the next car leave the line, but I suspect they might be flagged. That is Gerard Wedge Adams in the Stuart Taylor R1. So again, another sort of locator field S car. The Mini has sort of got going a bit out of top S, so might be okay.
Fingers crossed, and yeah, it's a fairly circumspect run as well. So hopefully we can, Gerard will kind of find the Mini in the paddock, but he won't be far behind it, I wouldn't have thought.
No, the Mini's crossed the line, 72.88, and I think either the MK has been... No, he just, luckily, I think he took it quite gingerly through the S's, which means he won't catch the Mini up. So Gerard Wedge crosses the line now to 47.99. Get on the brakes, Gerard, please. The Mini did cross the line, but didn't sound particularly healthy. Right, next on the line, we've got an OMS 2000M. which is Leon Levy. I think a new name to this car. I recognise the car, but
I thought I was Billy. This is where you come into play because you know the single-seater game like no one else. I was looking at it thinking, where do I know that car?
I think somebody else had it, and I think they've sold it. And it would also make sense because maybe as Leon's doing the one-day meeting to get his eye in and to learn the car. Anyway, he's left the line. He did stall on his first attempt, but his rear wheels didn't cross the line, so he gets to run again. He's already through Kennel. He's with you.
Yeah, obviously he is getting to know the car, the conditions as well. Let's talk about a baptism of fire, but the car sounds and looks healthy enough. He's just taking it really careful through the kink where that mud is, which is wise enough. Obviously you get no points if you touch a barrier and take a wheel off, so he's made it up to bottom S. He's now heading to top S, and I'd imagine out of there already. Yeah,
quite a good way if you've got a new car or you're just getting into it. The one-day meetings are a great way to get 4 runs in a day. And to learn your car. Across the line for Leon, 73.25, 73.25. David Rose on the hill in the very pretty and very light Lotus Elite.
Yeah, exactly. I do see exactly what you're very clever. As I said, you're clever and funny. There's no, I can see why you're married with kids. Right, so the Elite makes its way past me. David's got a lovely little collection of Lotuses, or Loti. I think that's the collective now. Yeah. Loti. And this is one of them. So I'd imagine it's going to be loads of fun because it's got all the room in the world to play with in such a small, petite car. Rear-wheel drive, skinny tyres. Loads of fun in conditions like this, I'd have thought. Not fast, but fun.
Still pretty quick, not doing too badly indeed. Heads up towards the finish now, does David. What is it? They're 1400 those.
Might be 1100.
Is it?
Yeah, Climax engine.
Okay, yes. Which and they also make or made commentary Climax. Formula One engine.
Yes, I'm trying to think what it is.
And
something like a fridge freezer or something.
Close. Fire pumps.
Oh, there you go. Fire pumps. There you go.
So they made pumps for the fire service and Formula One engines.
Learn something new every day.
You do. Anyway, has made it to the finish.
Anyway.
So that is Leon Levy did a 73.25. Oh, Peter Howard. It says NTR. I'm guessing maybe the time didn't show. They might have had a slight timing glitch, which the rain won't have helped. But if it is just practice, they won't run him again. If it was a timed run, they'd have to because it needs the time for where he's in class. But this is just practice, so I suspect he won't run again. But it may be that they're just hitting Control Alt Delete. Well, he's got the practice, hasn't he?
That's true.
He doesn't need the time in practice. Right, we're into Austin 7s now, which are fantastic. I mean, one of the most iconic British cars, one could argue, sold all over the world, including they were done as not kit cars. What are they called when they got? My dad would be screaming at me if he was here. Where you build them in the factory and you send them over in parts and they get assembled when they get there. They did that all around the world.
Kit car.
Sort of, but not. There's another word for it. Anyway, they were
Lego.
They were patches BMW. There's some story on Austin 7 BMW. With one of the first BMWs. There's something about a rebadged Austin. There's some story there.
They were referred to as chummies, I think. It might be a Brummie thing, but I think they're Austin chummy.
Oh, there you go. If anybody listening remembers that link between Austin 7s and BMWs that I don't, then please do write to me at Vox Villa, Shelsley Walsh, to let me know. So Anne Harris heading, I don't think they need to break through bottom S, but heading through the S's now. Meanwhile, in front of me, in this lovely looking sort of streamlined Austin 7 Special. So you see a lot of these, don't you? They take the chassis and the running gear of an Austin 7 and put a different body on them.
Yeah, but you know, there are so many variations of these Austin 7s, aren't they? So clearly it was quite a healthy little series, wasn't it, I suppose, back in period.
Well, that's what I'm saying, in period. You know, you don't, the expensive, complicated bits, the running gear and the chassis, but you could take them and put whatever body you like on them.
Yeah, and I think a lot of people have, because I think my favourite here, I think, is was it the 7 Simple? Is it the Simple 7? Simplicity. The Simplicity. Graham Beckett's car. I don't know if we'll see that. We should have seen that, but it does essentially look like, you know, the little pedal cars you have when you're a kid.
Yes.
Just like one of those with an engine in it.
Oh, there you go. By the way, time for Anne Harris was an 83.52. Rick Pearmain in the Austin 7 Special still going. Rob Barber with you in the Austin 7 Ulster replica with you.
Indeed he is, making his way past the kink.
These were quite famous. Austin 7 Ulster is probably one of the most famous of the sort of rebodied Austin 7s, really, as a sports car variant. One I've heard of before, at least.
Yes, absolutely. Well, it's. I mean, they come in thick and fast. That's for sure. The sevens, they just look so small, don't they? In this,
They do.
In this, I mean, when you look at something like, like Simon Bainbridge's car comes up here, and you think, oh, that's tight, that's close.
Yeah, it looks like it sort of needs butter on each side of it, so it's stuck.
Yeah. Whereas these sevens have got
room.
all the room in the world. They just pick their line. It's fantastic.
Yeah. Time for Rob Barber was a 59.28 in the Ulster replica. Already past you is Claire Muddy in her Austin 7 Ulster replica. And then we've got an Austin 7 Sports already with you through Kennel and towards you at Crossing.
It is, and it looks sporty enough. This is, it takes a nice line through Kennel. I think these guys are obviously flat out from the start to bottom S.
But momentum, therefore, is so important, and it sounds silly, but in the same way, still less power and less speed. But the Formula Forward class is all about momentum and being smooth. And I would say exactly the same about these smooth gear changes, smooth lines, don't scrub off any speed, because you'll carry that all the way to the finish in these cars.
Well, exactly. I mean, I do wonder what the kind of... I mean, like, this one goes really, really well. This one's quite quick. Car number 240. This is Mike Spicer. I think he was like sub 50.
He did a 44.38.
Did he really? Yeah, so quick enough, to be honest. I do wonder what kind of power output is of these things when you really breathe on them, you know?
Yeah, I don't know, but also this one's slightly lowered, I think, slightly more sporty suspension, going really well indeed. I think this is going to be a good run. By the way, some times. Nick Pearson, who did a PB, by the way, with a 55.70, which is great to see, and as did Peter Howard earlier when he did his 50.53. Claire Muddy did a 64.97. Mike Spicer's gone quicker, slightly slower than this morning, 49.79, to go second in class behind Joe Spicer, and you've got Stuart Rose.
I have indeed, and he's already been and gone. Quick enough, in fairness. It looked like it was soldiering on quite well, to be honest. And this looks to me, is this the Nick Allen car? Is this the Shelsley Special coming up the hill now?
No, looks a bit like it, but this is an Austin A7. It does look like the Shelsley Special, but it isn't.
Darren.
I feel like very much aimed body-wise to be an Austin replica, if you will, of the sort of pre-war ERA, post-ERA sports cars. Formula 1 cars, sorry.
Honey, I Shrunk the Connaught.
Yes, or for me it looks like a mini ERA.
Yeah, I like an ERA.
They're unbelievably quick.
Yes. I wonder, have you ever sat in an ERA where the prop shaft and differential are?
They're perilously close to things that I hold quite dear to myself.
Yes.
Yes.
Yes, they are quite grown up, aren't they?
Right, Stuart Spicer, as I said, 52.99. Sorry, Stuart Rose is at 52.99. Darren Duchambeau in the car you just saw, 52.41, goes fourth quickest. Nick Allen, this is the Shelsley Special. Austin 7.
Yes, and with this wider track front than rear, very kind of GN Spider-esque, and he sticks his hand out with his right hand outside the car. I think he was maybe thinking about going for what must be third gear, down a second, but I assume he selects first to get through the S's, but he's out of my sight already. And,
I need to go and find out more about this car. I would love to know how long it's been competing here.
Probably quite a while.
It's a bit like...
going to have a story, isn't it?
It is. It's a bit like Spider and Spider 2. That if you've not seen them, ladies and gentlemen, they look a bit like this. And they've been competing at Shelsley for the best part of a century, if not. It's quite remarkable. So the car you've just seen with Nick Allen at the wheel is very much part of the history of this wonderful hill. We've got a time, it's a quick one, it's 48.39, so he is quickest of the class, of the Austin 7 class, is Nick Allen in the little Shelsley Special. So well done, Nick. Those were all practice times. That is the end of batch 3. You will see all those cars again, batches 1, 2 and 3, but without the dual-driven cars at the end of the day for their final timed runs, just so you know. You being Lloyd and everyone else here.
Yes, thank you for the information, Billy. Very much appreciated.
So next class we're back into the 2-day meeting now, and at first we will have a few dual-driven cars, but actually we're into the main road car classes now. So we're going to have Class A2B, that's series production cars over 2 litres that you should see. So you'll see a little bit later on you'll see the likes of Alan McFarlane and co. Oh no, so we've just seen him. That's the 1-day meeting. hold the line. I'll tell you who you're about to see. So that we had A2 for series production cars over 2 litres. So we've got Simon Tarling in his 996. We've got all the Porsches. We've got the little Alpine of Tim Elmer. That's a very pretty little car. And we've got that very quick BMW M2 competition of Steve Atkins. I'll be interested to see, for example, David Meek 911 GTS. Is that rear-wheel drive? Yes, because it's in A2.
GTS rear-wheel drive. Yeah.
But then after that, you'll see some cars that will go very quickly indeed, including Rodney Isles and his four-wheel drive 911 and the Yaris's as well.
That's a car for a day like today. Rodney Isles' 911 Turbo S. That is a car for a day like today.
Or Neil Lacey's Impreza as well.
Oh yeah, because he's got that running. He's got that running sweetly now, hasn't he?
He has indeed.
Because I think he had a little Shuntaroonie, didn't he, a couple of years ago here, and I didn't see it last year.
It is here, so that.
But it is definitely here. It's definitely here and back.
Yeah, I'm just going to check because I've got. He's not on the list of people not running, so that's good. And then, so the first thing you'll see is some dual-driven cars from Specialist Production Cars. That's Class B. Those are in effect, your Caterhams, your Westfields, and the Fisher Furies as well, which is a lovely little kit car that you see a couple of the hill climbing now, 2 or 3 of them. So you'll see 2 of them first. Robin Holden first in the Westfield Megabusser, and then by the way, you're talking about cars that are a handful in these conditions. I'd put that Westfield Megabusser up there because loads of power from the motorbike engine, but not very much weight.
Can I tell you the car that I feel like is probably the hardest car I think to drive up here today? The car that I would be most like, I think that's tricky. And I saw it this morning and I thought that's going to take some piloting on a day like today. It's Nigel Elliott's TR7 V8 with the twin turbos.
Yeah.
That is a serious bit of kit that in conditions like this, every single time Nigel gets in that car, he's the bravest man in the paddock.
Yeah, it's fair play. I would agree with you. That's, I think, in batch 5 from my thing.
Twin turbo V8 TR7.
And power team, I've heard it. The power does arrive in very large lumps.
Yeah, it's kind of like
nothing. There it is.
It is. Yeah.
Okay,
and it's not just. It's not like a twin turbo. You get one that comes in, then it's like he gets 2 just coming at once.
Yeah, it's.
He's
quite a handful of these conditions.
Yes.
Anyway, so cars are coming back down the track. Tell you what's going to be nice is it's obviously raining and we've got a bit of mud at the kink and we've just had a load of historics and I can see the unmistakable rainbow colour of little drips of oil here and there.
Oh, that's pretty. Yeah.
So it could be, I think, greasy.
Yeah.
Greasy.
Yeah. Yeah, that's tricky. Because the thing is, obviously, this is the most frustrating conditions.
You say that
any
this
driver.
Is probably this is
wet now.
Whereas when it's drying,
yeah.
I think that's the hardest here.
Yeah, you either want it wet or dry, don't you?
Yeah, and it is wet, but it has stopped raining here at the start line.
Well, I thought it was brightening up, but I think I've actually.
It's not. It's spitting.
Yeah, I thought it was brightening up, but it's sort of remaining grey. Well, I mean, it's June in England, so.
Yeah, we've had our summer.
We've had our summer. Yeah, summer last week.
Right, so flags are in, cars are back in the paddock, and a Westfield comes to the start line. This is the aforementioned Robin Holden in the Westfield Megabusser. So this is 1300cc Suzuki Hayabusa engine in the front. They are incredibly. Some of these cars are remarkable. Traction control, the power, the sophistication now that they get out of some of these racing Caterhams and Westfields. They're quite impressive pieces of kit.
Well, the one that really stands out for me is Rob Lloyd in his MK Indy Cup, and I think it's turbocharged now. I think, isn't it? So
is it?
So it's just mental.
That is impressive. Right, leaving the line in front of me is Rob Holden in the non-turbocharged Westfield Megabusser, 1300cc Hayabusa in the front with you.
Now, this for me is the hardest car. These are the hardest kind of cars to drive in conditions like this, as I say, because there's absolutely no weight, there's no mass. Sometimes you can do with a bit of mass. And he's driving it beautifully, actually, really committed. All the power's at the top, so he's got lots of RPM to play with. Car is certainly lively.
Driving it very nicely indeed. A little bit of a wiggle as he comes out of top S, but only the tiniest one given the conditions. Heads up towards the finish now to do a 37.04. Paul Evans with you.
Absolutely, yeah. So with me now in this purple Blackberry, which is a lovely looking thing. That big diffuser stuck out the back of it to help with a bit of aero. He's going to need all the help he can get with this condition today. So
this with a 2-litre engine in the front. So this would be a
2-litre
engine, would it?
Yeah, I'd imagine probably be an XE Vauxhall, wouldn't it?
Yeah. So heads up towards the finish now. Now, talking about cars are a bit of a handful, let's see how Laura Elliott gets on in the 911 Carrera. Great traction on the line in the rear engine 911. Tail happy for the rest of the hill, with you.
Yeah, and this is one of the quickest cars off the line of all weekends in the dry. It's normally a sub 2 second off the line car. Extremely well developed car, this. I can only imagine that Laura Elliott is now... Yeah, she must be recently married. So it's Laura Wardle, is it not?
So Laura heads through the S's, up through bottom and top S, rocketing towards the finish now, to set a time of 42.28. Bob Penrose on the hill, with you.
Yeah, good to see this car again. Clio 200, just has a quick lift through crossing. Heads through kink, flat out. He's going to have one press of the brake pedal, 2, and maybe a third press of the brake pedal. He just feels for that traction into bottom S. He's tipped out of my sight and heading through the S's.
So whilst we wait for time for Bob, we've got Richard Pates coming to you now in the MG ZR 160. So this will have the 1.6 litre K-Series in the front.
I think this will be the 1.8. This will be 1.8.
It's a 160 though, is it still a 1.8?
Yeah, so it's a 1.8, but it's a 160 brake horsepower. So
this is why you're here.
Well, this is my era. This is the sort of stuff that I grew up like trashing with my mates down country lanes for £1,000 when I was like 18, so not realising that actually they'd be worth something one day.
But very nice little car.
Very nice little car, really nice engine, one of the underrated engines K-Series, I think.
Dad's got one of these 1.8s in the front of his Morris Minor.
He's got a what now? In a what now?
Yeah, he's got 1.8 K-Series in the front of his Minor.
That's very David Grace thing to do, I think, isn't it?
Yeah. Right, Ian Richards with you in the Clio, the RS200 with the best number plate ever in the world.
Absolutely best number plate ever in the world. Absolutely flying along, to be honest. Almost cocked a wheel through and amazingly, it's really stiff. I mean, they're stiff at the chassis, stiff chassis anyway in cup form with these Clios, but that was really flying along then. So yeah, on for a good time hopefully.
We'll wait for that time. Some times for you. Robert Penrose did a 47.11 in the Clio. Laura Elliott did a 42.28 in her Porsche. Richard Pates just did a 48.12. Ian Richards, that was a quick time in that Clio. That was a 41.46. David Hemingway with you in another Clio.
Yeah, it looks like quite a racy thing. So cage in the back, bit of weight taken out of it perhaps. It sounds like it's running some sort of aftermarket induction, so it could be on throttle bodies, could be induction, but absolutely flat out to bottom S. Turns it in, out of my sight, and already out of top S.
Next on the hill, Zoe Shearman, very quick.
Lift through kennel, car went round, it just found the front end climbing up the tyre barrier, and the car's just done a complete rotation. The front left corner, there will be suspension damage. We won't see that car again this weekend unless they can get that sorted. Zoe's still in the car. I think she's probably just a little bit shaken up. Thumbs up from the marshals, just going to make sure she's not sort of hurt her wrists or anything if she held onto the wheel, because it did catch that front left and just sort of snap that front left corner suspension. So doors open. I think Zoe's just taking a minute for a second just to sort of regather her thoughts. But
yes,
we'll be in for a small stoppage. I can see her moving around the car. She's undoing her harnesses and everything, so it looks like she'll be okay. But no doubt a bit of a shock to the system.
Yes, from what I could see on the stream, looks like oversteer through crossing, and then it set off into the bank on the left.
It did, yeah. So yeah, it looked like it was going well, and it's just such a tricky one because it's one of these light cars that they don't have a lot of mass to them, and they'll give you confidence. And then when these mid-engine things go round, once they've decided they're past a certain angle, they're not for saving. And obviously, Shelsley Walsh is quite unforgiving.
She was a shame because she was quick up to that point. She
was going really well.
14.73 to crossing, which is considerably quicker than anything we've seen so far in this class. So it was going really well indeed. And unfortunately, just I think maybe a bit slippier through crossing than she expected.
Yeah, absolutely. Well, it's always a shame, but this is You know, these things can be
In
mended.
these conditions, that's...
They can be mended. Well, to be honest, you know, all credit to the commitment in these conditions anyway.
Yeah.
You know, she was say if you're 14 seconds up to crossing, that's going really, really well. But yeah, she's out of the car. She's no doubt just a little bit annoyed, I can only imagine. But yeah, she's out of the car. She's just going to be checked over, no doubt. But she looks okay. The Exige, unfortunately, I think if it makes its way back this weekend, I'll be very surprised.
I think it had contact at both ends, didn't it?
It did. So yeah, that front left corner just went into the tyres, and I definitely saw the front left suspension break. So I think it's going to need a back of a trailer job, and then the front went round, complete rotation. It just caught that sort of rear right as well, and it's taken the rear diffuser as well. So unfortunately, early bath. But the car can be repaired. No doubt it'll be back. And yeah, wish Zoe the best, and hopefully she's all right. Looks like she's just having a bit of a check over with the paramedics, just to make sure she's okay. I think it's probably more frustration than anything, I'd have thought.
Time, by the way, for David Hemming, who went before her, was a 39.20, which was in the Renault Clio 182, which was, of course, the older shape Clio, but I really like that shape.
It's a really nice
slightly
shape.
Smaller.
Yeah. Well, the 182s, the things with the 200s. So the 200s and the 197s in the Mark III. They always felt a bit more grown up. They felt a bit heavier. They were a bit more substantial. So they helped. They wanted to grow the car up a little bit and make them a bit more livable. But in doing so, they lost a little bit of their, how can I say, like 80s, 90s hot hatch charm. But obviously it's all legislation, so every car has to put more airbags under the seat, more airbags in the roof and dashboard and everything. So you didn't feel quite as connected. But the 182 felt slightly quicker, but the 200 was the more stable and sort of less likely to spit you off, I think, if you were to lift off the throttle in the wet, you know. So
yes.
So yeah, the 197 200 was always a very, very good daily driver, and it didn't quite feel as quick, but it was as quick, just didn't feel as quick. It didn't feel quite as raw.
Yeah. No, I love those cars, and they make great hill climb cars.
Have you driven one?
I haven't.
Have you not?
No.
Oh,
I know, but luckily I know a guy who runs a car company that specialises in buying and selling lovely little French hot hatches in the Midlands, actually.
Was it? Oh, really?
Yes. And
so do I have competition?
I reckon he might let me have a go with one at some point.
If ever, mate, if ever you want to pop in and have a go in a little Clio,
I would love that.
Well, I was going to say maybe go and see someone at Renault or something.
Yeah, go and speak to somebody else.
Go and speak to Renault. Go and speak to somebody else. No, mate. There's always a drive for you. Whenever you want to come and have a go in anything you see.
Oh, thank you.
Come and have a go. No problem at all.
So obviously, I'm not sure how they're going to pick this up.
My guess would be that they're probably going to just have to drag it straight. So maybe put a strap through a wheel or something to just pull it straight, and then they're just going to have to drag it on the back of the trailer, on the back of the truck, because the front corner's attached, but I think the car is resting on the wheel, if that makes sense. So I think they'll probably drag it, and it might detach the front corner. I mean, it depends if it's pulled the top mount out and all that kind of stuff. But but it certainly snapped the bottom arm and steering rack. I'd be amazed if it wasn't completely new front suspension. It's going to want a serious rebuild. That Exige, bless it. It probably more damage than you might think. Shame. Lovely car. Don't see many Exiges, but it'll be rebuilt. I've no doubt. I'll get that sorted.
I hope so. Yes. I don't think we'll see it back tomorrow.
Unfortunately not. And although there will be a queue of people in the paddock waiting to sort of see how they can if they can help. If anybody's got any bits for a Lotus.
That's very true. I think it is slightly, less dark down here.
It's definitely less dark up here.
I don't like to use the word bright because I think it's not. But less dark, I'd say, which is nice. And by the way, I was just watching. Funny enough, on social media, I saw a a video posted by Johnny Red, who will be here somewhere today.
Yes, Johnny Red, thank you for your continued support with the almost virtually live stream on Facebook.
He posted on Facebook a really lovely video that he filmed from between Crossing and the Kink of Wallace, Will and Matt this morning. And there was a dry line appearing this morning, starting to. You can quite clearly see the sort of tram tracks of dryness, but also Will just looks so nailed on. And he did a 27. He was only current
145 over the line in the wet.
But it just looks so neat. Looked fantastic. So if a dry line does appear, that would be nice, wouldn't it?
Would you like a weather report? Would you like a weather update for tomorrow?
Okay, Carol.
Okay, so weather tomorrow, it says at the minute, sun, Sunday.
Yeah.
That's not sun.
Where? Here? Or
here. So here, Shelsley Walsh. Okay. So Met Office app says no rain, 30%. Well, because I always thought, the 30% thing, it's actually not 30% chance, it's 30% of the area, apparently, has got rain. That's what my wife says, and it's impossible for her to be wrong. So I would say it looks like it's probably going to hold off until 5-6 o'clock, which, if we have a good go of things, might get a second runoff before then, perhaps. But hopefully we get a dry day tomorrow, which would be just lovely, wouldn't it?
It would be very nice. If we get a dry day and some good conditions, that would be lovely.
Yes.
Because who knows how quick we could go.
Oh, can you imagine how quick we'd go if we had that weather that we had last week? Ooh.
It was almost too hot.
It was almost too hot. You want 22, 23 degrees, I'd have thought. That's probably what you want. That's probably optimal conditions for these things.
Yeah, I think so. I think you're right. So let's see how we get on tomorrow, and hopefully it's dry.
Hopefully. It will be. It will be. Keep the faith. It'll be dry. We'll be having ice creams. Everybody's going to be sunglasses and t-shirt tans. It's going to be great. It's all going to be great.
I'm looking forward to it already. It is raining here at the start line.
It's raining at the start line, is it?
Yeah.
Right. Okay.
Just separate.
But apart from that, the weather's great. It's actually not here on the hill, which is bizarre.
Okay. It's you forget how. I know it sounds silly because it's all left-hand corners apart from top S, but Shelsley does come sort of back on itself quite a lot. So I always think, when I'm thinking where's the finish, I'm looking left out my window, but actually the finish is behind me in Fox, if you know what I mean.
Yes.
So
I know what you mean.
I'm looking at the weather left out my window. That's not really what, but you're actually more behind me.
Well, I'm looking right out of. So over your left shoulder will be my right slightly, and Billy, sun is coming. I'm telling you now.
Nice. Here it's raining.
Yes.
So I can just see Zoe back in the paddock, out of the Clerk of the Courses car. So luckily she looks perfectly all right.
Yes, they have.
Great.
They have straightened the Exige out to a point where they've it was at a 45-degree angle. They've now straightened it and they are now pulling it up
As
the
I said,
back of
that
the
was
truck.
A real shame because there just wasn't quite as much grip as required through crossing, but up to that point, really quick.
It was going really well, it's like it came out of nowhere. It was a slow, progressive slide, but it all happened. It was a difficult one because obviously Zoe, if she'd have wound loads of steering lock on, it could just have spattered the other way, and then she would have had twice as big an accident. But she just put a little bit of lock on, which was perfectly. It was really well timed. She just put just a little bit of right-hand lock on, which hopefully would have probably just with like 5% more grip, just straightened the car out nicely. Just had a little slide, and then got back on the power to go to the kink and complete her run. But there was just the rear right just went round, and it just got too close to the inside of the bank, and it just pulled the car up the bank and spat it round. So real shame because it's you don't like. I mean, that's the worst part of it. Is firstly subject to driver being okay, which in this case Zoe's okay, which is great. You don't like seeing nice cars getting smashed up, do you? That's not what we want to see.
No. So we should be going.
It won't take too long. It did pull a bit of mud out the bank, but the marshals are well trained in mud removal.
True.
Today.
Good. Well, we'll wait to see how they get on. From what I can see, the Lotus is already on the truck, which is good.
It is. They're just retracting the bed, so we'll be up and running. I can imagine fairly soon. There will have been some furious sweeping, but The thing is, where the mud was before, which is on the entrance to Kink, which is, as you say, Billy, it's one of the fastest points for the of the circuit, of the course. This is dead in the middle between Crossing and Kink, so actually most people will just be driving over it in a straight line. So I'd have said that hopefully the mud won't be an issue on this occasion.
That's good to hear.
I hope.
Yeah, famous last words.
Famous last words. Right, so the Exige's on its way back down. Front left corner, wheel hanging off. So bless it, that'll be an early bar for the little Lotus. So we'll hope to see that car back soon. No doubt they'll do a job of getting that back together. So it's a nice thing. Obviously, simple engineering. So hopefully it's a case of straightening and bolting.
Hopefully by
bits
August.
On. Yeah, fingers crossed. That'd be great.
Yeah. So what have we got next? We're sort of halfway through the batch. What time is it? 20 to 4. We're on batch 4. Okay. So we've got, next up, we should expect Jonathan Langmead in his Elise S1. And we'll see the end of Class A1. And then we'll go straight into Class A2. And I think A3 as well in this batch. Yes, so some quick cars.
Jonathan Langmead is back in a car. Obviously, there was a sad story with Jonathan Langmead's old car. But he's back. He's back in an Elise.
From what I can see from here, yeah. What happened with his old car?
It got stolen.
Oh God, yes.
Did you know that?
I did. Sorry.
It was stolen. Yeah.
You just reminded me. That was awful. I did hear about that.
Yeah, which is a real shame because it was a record-breaking car, class record car, and obviously Jonathan knows that because it was I think it was Paul Jones's car first, and then Jonathan had the car and did a few bits and pieces to it, and so it was a really, really well decorated car. That it had all kinds of class records and all sorts of bits and pieces, but stolen. Can't have anything nice, can you, these days? It was. I think it went on the back of a trailer. It went in the trailer. I think it was the trailer stolen. The car was in it, which is massively unfortunate. So great, but really, really nice to see him back in a car. And
I hope he is. I mean, it's in the entry list, so
yeah,
hoping that's correct.
That would be great. I mean, for a second I was like, if he's in it, at least it'd be amazing if he found the car. But
I don't know.
If he's not, then shame.
But it does say. Yeah, he just says he's in an S1.
What colour is it? Can you see it?
I don't know yet, because I'm not sure. It's behind some flags.
Okay. Well, either way, good to see him back, which is great.
It's definitely brightening up now.
It's definitely brightening up, like the shadows now around the course car and the marshals that are sweeping and scraping and getting the place back up and running. So, do you know what would be good? I was just thinking earlier, if anybody's listening,
no one's listening to us.
No, those pressure washers that you can get where you sort of dangle like a bit of hose into like a barrel of water or something like that. That would be good for stuff like this. When it's like sort of wet, but there's mud on the course because you can't really scrape it, can you?
No, I think you need electrical power. That's the only thing.
I don't know. I think some of them are like hydraulic. Yeah, I suppose you do.
But that would be useful.
Ignore me then.
No, not at all. It would be very useful.
So surely, maybe I can invent that.
Get on.
Portable jet wash.
Yeah.
Surely.
You call the brand Washing Heroes.
Get Deborah Meaden on the phone.
Right.
Get Deborah Meaden on the phone.
You saw that.
Yeah.
So we should see. What have we got? So that's batch 4. And then after that, what have we got in batch 5? We've got the dual-driven 1100 class cars, and the dual-driven sports cars as well. And then we've got the rest of the specialist production cars, and then the modified cars. So we've got the Hillman Imps and some Morgan Plus 8s. There's another car that's a challenging drive today.
Yes.
And then some really very quick Imprezas as well in Class C4, which I'm looking forward to. Now, I don't... Damien Baddy's not here this weekend, which is a shame, but I think he's at another event at Silverstone, or he was this week.
Yeah,
he is doing the August meeting.
There's a track day on that I think he's doing demo runs in.
Fine, but he's doing August.
Yes.
And also the Audi will be back as well. Simon Bainbridge will be doing August, I suspect.
And I'd imagine would the Morans be back in August as well?
I suspect so. I'm pretty sure they would. I think they're doing the Tin Top Challenge. I don't know. I haven't spoken to Scott or Roger about it, but I would presume that's what the plan is, given those two cars that they've got now.
You would
the
hope so.
Evo and the Ford are both
utterly mental.
Yeah. Did you? Because I know Scott did Prescott in the Evo.
Yes.
It was a time attack car originally, was it?
It was so it's a time so it's a time attack car. I think it started its life in Japan, and I think it did a bit of UK time attack.
Right.
And then obviously it's found its way into the hands of Roger Moran. And I think they're just going to try and sort of hone it in. And I think, to be honest, look, Damien Bradley is he's the benchmark, isn't he? I suppose you know.
And Simon.
Of course. Well, Simon's obviously got the.
I think he was Tip Top Challenge.
Tip Top Challenge. But obviously, in terms of that kind of looking car, it's because you can't just go out and build something else like Simon Bainbridge's car is so unique. It's not the sort of thing that you can really kind of like, well, I'll try and buy something like it. So I suppose an Evo with 1200 brake horsepower is probably more similar to a Damien Bradley kind of car, isn't it? But
it's got a lot of aero as well.
A lot of aero.
Right, so flags are in. I have a car on the line. It is a silver Lotus Elise S1 with a maroon soft top. Very pretty little car. And it has got Jonathan Langmead aboard, and he rockets past me up towards the first corner, tips it in nicely, and he's into your sight.
Yeah, absolutely. So this will be his new car then. So this will be probably first of the dynamic runs, I suppose. I don't know if he's done anything with this car so far. It's a nice early.
First one this morning.
First one this morning, so yes. So it's an S1 on an R-Edge, which is a nice looking thing. Just feeling for the braking point there. Bottom S gets it round, and in typical John Langmead style, fully committed.
And so that will be a K-Series?
That'll be a K-Series in that car.
Yeah, so 1600 or 1800?
I think that'll be an 1800.
Yeah, looking at the thing it is. Right, he heads off towards the finish. Next we've got David Wilson in the family Elise. Goes very quickly indeed with you.
Yeah, absolutely. So, David Wilson is father. So Rob and David share this car. David taking a beautiful line through Kennel and probably holding third or fourth gear, just using the torque of the engine there to carry him through the kink. Gets on the brakes good and early, sets the car up well into bottom S. I can see it out of my sight.
Time, by the way, for Jonathan Langmead was a 38.89. David Wilson heads up towards the finish now. A time will be available momentarily. It's a 37.62. That's quick. 37.62, quickest so far in the class. Alan Foley with you in the little Saxo.
He is indeed, yeah. So this is the Weaver car. This is the car you earn your stripes in the Weaver family. And Alan looking to do so. He's on the brakes into bottom S, brakes once, he'll be braking again and just sets the car up for bottom S, so just feeling for grip again.
As Alan heads his way through the S's, Simon Tarling on the hill. Now this will be quite a handful in this weather, this 996 GT3.
Yeah, this is a Gen 2 GT3 as well, so yeah, not a small amount of money to be taken up in these conditions. Proper modern classic. Definitely taking that steady, and I can completely see why, as you say, Billy, a bit of a handful in these conditions. Not sure they've got traction control or anything in these things.
Also, the engine's still quite a long way back.
Yes.
It's worked its way forwards in later 911 models, but quite a long way back in this one. Richard York is now on the hill in the 718 GT4 Club Sport. Now, this is a lovely car.
Yeah, this is a really nice car. So mid-engine, so this is the later generation of the GT4s. I've just listened to a gear change, so this is running the PDK gearbox as well. The 7-speed PDK just sort of multiplies that torque a bit quicker, probably slightly better for hill climbing than the manual.
Meanwhile, Simon Fido leaves the line Tim Elmer leaves the line right in front of me very quickly indeed in the lovely Alpine.
Yeah, an absolute dream this. Really one of my favourite cars ever, to be honest. I absolutely love one of these. Now that's really interesting because these don't have diffs, and Tim Elmer has just been on the power and he's gone over the mud that was kicked up by the Lotus. I heard the inside wheel spin up, so
wow.
Committed. Very committed.
Now as he heads up towards the finish, this is interesting. This is Tony Adams next on the hill in the highly tuned 4-cylinder turbocharged Cayman, so not a GT4 but often as quick as, if not quicker than them.
Yeah, absolutely. Wasn't it Robbie Birrell last year that was tearing up the category? So really took it. So we had the GT4s and GT4 RSs, and Robbie Birrell turned up at 500 brake horsepower, turbocharged one of these, and really had a good go at them all.
So some times, Tim Elmer 37.38. That's very quick indeed in these conditions. Richard York before him did a 45.16. Tony Adams is just heading across the line. Robert Lancaster Gay with you.
Yeah, again, a fantastic bit of kit this. I think, has he changed cars again?
I think so.
So he's got a 991. The last time I saw him, he had a 997, and so he's a
He
991
had a 4
now.
litre, didn't he?
Yeah, oh my god.
Before that.
Oh my god, he had the best hill climb car ever. Yes, he had a GT3 RS 4 litre, which is, well, I won't say anything, but just go and Google how much they sell.
They're worth more at the top of the hill. He worth more at the end of his meeting than it was at the beginning. Right, Robert Lancaster Gator, the 38.49. Steve Atkins on the hill goes very well in this M2, taking the battle to the Porsches.
He is indeed, yeah. And this is a tricky car, so he's squirming the way up the hill because these things are 3 litre turbo, straight 6, lots of power, lots of torque, which is what you want in the dry, really. Yeah, he makes his way safely up to the S's.
Heads up towards the finish now. Meanwhile, David Meek has just taken to the hill in his 911 GTS.
Yeah, I think they call this Viper Green. Really, really nice thing.
Lamborghini green.
Yeah, it is very much. Well, it's very green.
Or Kawasaki green.
It's very green. But yeah, in this GT, that might actually, if it would be, I wouldn't nail on whether that's 4-wheel drive or 2-wheel drive. What did it sound like it was
It's
off
a
the line?
GTS, I think it's 2.
You could get. Well,
I think it's 2-wheel drive.
you can 2-wheel drive. Well, you could get 4-wheel drive or 2-wheel drive.
Oh,
GTS.
you're right.
Yeah.
You're right.
In 992, I didn't realise it was 992.
So he does a 38.94 in the GTS. Steve Atkins did a 38.08 before that. Now we've got Richard Snow on the hill, another very quick GT4 RS.
Yeah, quick car. So these things are proper GT3 engines. This is the car that they said that they would never make, Porsche, because they didn't want it to rival GT3 RS. Really nicely balanced.
Then some chap from accounts turned up and said, we think we should make that because it will make us lots of money.
Yes, and do you know what?
It has.
If anything's ever going to sign anyone off, it's going to be the fact that it's going to make them lots of money.
Yeah, so heads up towards the finish is Richard Snow, 35.80. That's very quick. Rodney Isles now on the hill.
Well, let's see. Is this going to be the quickest Porsche? I dare wager that it probably is. It's certainly. Oh, actually, that's interesting. The car went to kick down then, and he kind of came back off the power and went back down the gear. So this will be interesting. Rodney might be running this in automatic.
By the way, Richard Snow's time of a 35.80 was second and a half quicker than anybody else in class. That was a very quick time in the GT4S. Rodney Isles is looking quick though as he heads up towards the finish. It's a 36.93. Tim Goodwin now on the hill in the TTS Audi.
Right, I'd be interested to see what the time is for this car because Tim Goodwin has modified this car. It's a manual TTS, quattro system working really well. I'd be very, very interested to know what the time is. He'll lap for pure horsepower up the straights, but actually Tim Goodwin is very, very committed in this TTS.
You were just mentioning Tim Elmer, I know as well, in the Alpine. That was a quick time. But Tim used to drive a Dallara, didn't he?
He did. That's the car that Nigel Pitt now has.
Yes, I thought it was.
It's a pretty car.
It's very pretty.
Pretty car.
So times, Tim Goodwin 39.59 in the Audi, so sub 40, which is a lot quicker than he went this morning. And with you is Ian Fido.
Exactly, yeah. In the Yaris, those 3 electronic differentials probably working really well. 300 brake horsepower in the GI Yaris, and still under warranty.
Do you think that Toyota anticipated the buzz that this car would create?
So what I actually think is Tommy Mäkinen and Jari-Matti Latvala specifically developed this car for Shelsley Walsh hill climb, and they thought, well, when it's greasy,
it'll be perfect.
This will be perfect.
It was a 40.02 for Ian Fido. It's quicker than he went this morning. Tony Hawkins now with you in the other Yaris GR.
Absolutely. But to answer your question, and as Tony Hawkins' car flies past me, yes, I think they probably expected it to do well, but not quite as well as it did. They couldn't sell them quick enough, could they?
Unbelievable. The desirability of them. The people that have very large collections of various supercars have one of these in the collection.
I think yes. I think the net worth of a lot of Toyota customers went up when the GI Yaris came out.
So. Right. Do you think how if you've bought you get on the VIP list at Ferrari if you've had various cars?
Yes.
Do you think that to be on, he's had 4 Priuses, so he gets a Yaris? Is that how it works? Do you know what?
Yeah.
He's a regular Avensis customer, so he now gets offered the opportunity to buy a Yaris.
A Yaris GR. Well, do you know what? I don't think that did happen in the first instance. I think they probably a few
he's
brown
got a
envelopes.
minicab company, so now he's allowed to have a GS.
Yes, probably a few brown envelopes flying around the place.
Fair enough.
I will get my GR Yaris September, please. Thank you.
Yes, thank you. Right, Tony Hawkins did a 37.77, by the way, which was best part of a second quicker than he went this morning, and puts it second in class behind Rodney Isles. What's interesting, though, is that Richard Snow and Tim Elmer... No, Richard Snow quicker than the lot of them in the two-wheel drive Cayman GT4 RS. And Tim Elmer in the Alpine quicker than all but Rodney Isles from the four-wheel drive class. So that's a quick time from Richard Snow in a two-wheel drive car to beat all the four-wheel drive ones in these conditions.
Well, that's
it's impressive.
That is very impressive, because what I was wondering is I thought the 911 Turbo would be the quickest, but it sounded to me like perhaps Rodney was running it in auto, because it tried to kick down before it got to the kink. So it obviously locked itself in gear to go through kennel and crossing to settle itself up, and then he obviously floored the thing, and it just kicked down.
No Neil Lacey, by the way.
No.
But
I
think when I was not commentating earlier around lunchtime, did I see an Impreza go past on the back of the low loader of Doom?
I saw a silver Impreza go through.
Yeah, was that?
Well, I thought Neil Lacey's car was bright green.
Don't know. It's just a thought.
I thought Neil Lacey's car was bright green. I thought it was a hatchback. And the car that I saw was...
Oh, that one. Is it that?
Yes, that's what I thought.
I haven't seen him. So we'll have to go and have a wander around the paddock and see after...
Are you doing a modified? So obviously,
it's nice.
It's nice, that car. With high modification comes, more difficulty in running, but hopefully it's working, and he just elected not to take a practice run.
It's quite possible. Excuse me. So, end of the batch. Cars coming back past you. That GT4 RS of that just went quickest in class of Richard Snow. It's a beautiful car, isn't it?
Yeah.
As is that Alpine.
Yes, I mean, I love the Alpines because they punch well above their weight. They only weigh about 1,100 kilos. They're really, really light. But those GT4 RSs are, I mean,
piece of kit.
You see them ripping around the Nürburgring and just pushing much faster cars, pushing Ferraris out of the way and Lamborghinis out of the way. And they are a proper bit of engineering.
Brilliant car.
No, I don't know if you've ever been in one or near one, but the induction bark of those things is deafening. Big carbon airboxes over your ears.
Well, such is the demand for them and interest in them. The next Cayman, the next 718, should I say, which is either Boxer or Cayman, was going to be all electric.
Yes, you say going to. Yes, they've changed their mind, haven't they? Yeah.
So, I suspect there'll be another RS.
I think so. I love the RS Spiders. I think have you seen the Spider RSs? That's a cool car, isn't it? That's a cool car. I mean, obviously the problem is when it rains, you're a bit stuffed.
It's fine in Britain. When does it ever rain?
Oh well, exactly. Yeah, well, it's a really good point. Really good point, Billy.
Yeah. Flags are in. Cars have returned to paddock, and I have a Radical coming to the line. It's an SR1. It is Andrew Norris in the very pretty sort of black and gold SR1. I'll tell you what, Radicals have really helped, I'd say, reinvigorate the sports car class in the last few years, haven't they? With the mostly with the SR1s, a couple of PR6s, and the SR4 that we'll see in the next batch. But it's great to see.
So, interestingly, Andrew Norris, who was normally in that Porsche, is now in a Radical SR1.
He is indeed. Leaves the line in front of me, short shifts as he comes past me, very sensible in these conditions, no traction control or launch control in this car. 1300cc Hayabusa in the back, singing away with you.
Yeah, so the SR1 it is sort of the baby of the range, but they certainly go very, very well indeed. Looks like he's sort of had a slight lift to kick. So again, this being a new car, these conditions are a bit of a lottery. So,
well, it's rained a lot since these cars last went up the hill 3 or 4 hours ago.
Yes, absolutely. But it's now in that crossover period now where it's not wet anymore. It's greasy.
Yes, I agree. 37.09 for Andrew Norris. Half a second quicker than he went this morning, so that's good to see. Robin Nicholson next on the hill. This is one of my favourite cars of the weekend, this Malik Mark 20. Very quick, very light. This car's been hill climbing for decades, and it's still
yeah, absolutely. I'm always amazed at the entry speed in Spotify and how late this car can brake in the dry. The braking performance is just unbelievable. It's just a really, really well dialed in car, as he's proving as he makes his way through the S system.
He is indeed. Right, next in front of me, Debbie Summers. Great to see Debbie out in the lovely DJ Firehawk. She was telling me earlier how much she loves driving this car. she's with you.
Yeah, great to see Debbie. She makes her way under the commentary box. She just gives it a minute as she gets on the power, as she gets past this little mud slick across the course. She's down, popping through the gears into bottom S, turns out of my sight and into the S's.
Time for Robin Nicholson was a 38.66, so that is best part of 2 seconds quicker than he went this morning. So I think this class had the worst of the weather earlier, so they're kind of used to it. Good time for Debbie Summers. Debbie does a 34.65, 2 seconds quicker than she went this morning. Well done, Debbie. Right, next off the line, Richard Weaver. He did use the launch control, but it did bog as he left the line in the new to them Empire Evo 3. This is the ex-Morgan car.
Yeah, absolutely. Richard makes his way through Kennel and crossing. Takes another gear as he goes through the kink. Just has a slight lift. I asked him earlier, does it feel a lot quicker than the last one? Has it got more power? And he said, well, I wouldn't say the word before loads, but
quite
yes,
a lot loads.
Quite a lot more, yes.
Fair enough. Well, that's good to see. And next on the hill, we've got Scott Rayson in the Empire 00. Richard Weaver, by the way, 34.10. Scott with you.
Scott's with me. Yeah, the front end of the car looks quite pointy, so certainly on its toes, this thing. Takes a gear, sparking his way through the kinks of the aero, working its magic, pops and bangs down the gears into bottom S, no drama.
Nice neat tie from Scott Rayson. This is a very early Empire, the 00, but with a bit of additional modification since, with a bit more aero. Next on the hill, this is going to be quick. Ben Hamer in this phenomenally powerful BMW powered OMS28.
Yeah, absolutely. It's really close to the inside at crossing, but no harm done. Absolutely fine. I think they got into the runoffs at Gersten last weekend. Was it Harewood? I can't remember. Either way, they're really driving the wheels off this car and through bottom S and already out of top S.
Lovely up through top S. Sorry to cut across you. Lovely, sort of just the slightest slide through top S, but it's a 31.15. That's quick. That is second half quicker than he went this morning. Scott Rayson did a 32.94. Pete Tatham on the hill now in the beautiful DJ Firehawk.
Yeah, just has a little bit of a moment as he comes out of Kennel. I'm sure that was just road positioning or what, but it had a little bit of a wiggle. But he's running full wets, as I think everybody else will be, and makes his way to bottom S and turns in.
So we're in the 1100cc class now. This is the dual-driven car, so you'll see these cars in the next batch as well. Nice and neat and tidy through Pete, through top S. Of course, sharing the car with brother Dave. Heads across the finishing line, 34.47 to go. Well, just the 3 seconds quicker than he went this morning.
Not a bad improvement, that, is it?
No, as everyone's just learning conditions, really. Right, Jonathan Maycock. This is back into modified production cars, or specialist production cars, sorry. Had a bit of a bogged down start, but the rear wheels didn't cross the line, so couldn't run again. So they're just lining him back up. This is in the Westfield Megabusser. You saw this car in the last class. Drops the clutch now, spinning as its wheels as it comes past me. Feeds it the gears. Oh, just touches the grass on the entrance to Kennel. But with you now.
Yeah, this looks like a handful. This has clearly got bags and bags of power, this thing. And turns into crossing absolutely fine through Kennel. Clearly got loads more power than the rear wheels know what to do with in these conditions. And traction possibly an issue, but makes his way to bottom S and hopefully out of top S.
Next on the hill, we've got Oliver Tomlin in the Caterham Superlight R with the high vis in the front. Normally you'd see Oliver sharing with Sandra, so interesting to see him in a Caterham with you.
Yeah, and a little wiggle out of Kennel, nothing major. Again, just looks like we're starting to get a little bit wiggly. Again, just this section here, just got a little wiggle as he went out of underneath the commentary box and headed towards the kink, just where that again, bit of mud patches, I suppose you could say, where the Lotus dragged it all out. Does look a little slippy, so if you do see that, it will spin your wheels up.
Time, by the way, for Jonathan Maycock did a 37.16, again second half quicker than this morning. Oliver Tomlin just crossed the line to do a 37.93, a bit quicker than this morning. Now with you in the Fisher Fury.
Yeah, absolutely, and again, this is another car that's super light, on its toes, really difficult to drive in these conditions. Gets on the brakes nice and early, tips it in. Good driving from Robert there.
I've never seen a Fisher Fury anywhere else but hill climbing, and there are two of them that hill climb.
Are they really?
Yes, right, off the line in front of me, it's Simon Price. It sounded like it was struggling to get out of its launch control, popping and bang as it came past me, but he's given it a gear, and he's with you.
Yeah, again, perhaps another car that's got more power than it knows what to do with. Cutting in and out, I would have thought. And yeah, again, just really careful over this little mud section. Through the kink, lots of lifting, bit of coasting. It's a nightmare for these Westfields. We spoke about it earlier. This is just going to be so treacherous for them.
It is a bit of a handful. We'll wait for his time. Timothy Higgins left the line in front of me quite gingerly again in one of these Westfields. It was slightly popping in bang as it came past me as it cleared its throat. Just with you.
The car's gone over and gone up the road slightly on its roll cage, so that's done its job, which is great. Just had a little bit of a twitch on the entrance to the kink. Again, just went at front left, just went up the barrier, and I'd imagine front suspension touched the arm core on the inside, just tipped it into just too far of an angle on its side, really. So then it went onto its roof and just slid for a little bit and regained a bit of grip and just flipped it back on its wheel. So it's back on all fours, but it did go up the road a little bit on its roof. So still in the car. I think should be okay. Obviously, first thing to check is he okay with his hands inside the car? I think they were. But it was all relatively low speed, low impact, so the roll cage will have done its job. But yeah, just on the power a bit too, just a little prod, and it just sent the car into a little bit of an almost instant angle that just couldn't be received. So we'll get this tidied up and we'll just get the car retrieved. Again, just another check over from paramedics and just make sure that all is okay.
Yes, unfortunately, it just looked like it. I don't know if it touched anything on the outside, but then just clipped the barriers at the kink.
It was, yeah. So got on the power just before the kink, and it just tipped the car. It just pitched it left slightly, and it was almost unsavable. You know, you wouldn't have been able to put any lock on it to sort it. So just pitched it left. It just clipped that front left corner on the tyres almost exactly the same way as the MG from earlier, and the same place it made contact, exactly the same place it's made contact, and it just climbed up that barrier slightly, and then when it touched the Armco just after the tyres, it just kind of pitched the car up just too far on its wheels on its side, and it went over and then went up the road a little bit, but managed to find its way in such a way that the right hand side gripped and then put itself back on all fours. So the car is on all fours. Obviously paramedics just checking over, making sure everything's okay. I'm just trying to see if driver's out of the car. Who's driving that? Just remind me.
It's Timothy Higgins.
Timothy Higgins. Just going to make sure that Timothy's okay. I'm just having a look. I think he's just still sat in the car. Exactly.
Probably just having a safety precautions.
Yeah.
Especially as the car went over, need to make sure the driver's perfectly right before they get him out of the car.
Definitely. I can't imagine it'll be a huge clip. I mean, the course itself is okay. Again, a bit more sweeping. But we'll just be in a short stoppage just while we check driver and make sure that wheels and everything are. See if it'll. Again, I think the front corner's probably come off it, so I think it's probably sat on the ground slightly on its belly. But so it'll need recovering, I would have thought.
So whilst we wait, I just got a message. Apparently, the weather forecast for tomorrow is sunshine. It is sunshine, so please, if you are here today, do come back tomorrow. It's going to be a fantastic day of competition in what we're hoping to be much better weather, actually. So it should be a bit sunnier tomorrow, which is great. And I don't know if we're live on the stream. I know we were going to test it this afternoon. I don't know if it has gone live. If you are at home watching, come along tomorrow. It's much better to see it in person. It's a fantastic event here at Shelsley. So do come along. And if you are here today, make sure you come back tomorrow because it's going to be a brilliant day.
Not many prettier places to watch. Watch it. I mean, even if you're not into the racing and you want to just come along with a family member or something,
it's a great place to come.
Great place to just come and have a picnic.
Yeah. And wander around the paddock. It's so open and friendly, and everyone will talk to you about their cars. And it's a fantastic event. Whilst we've got a little break, I'm going to have a little break, and I'll be back in 5 minutes or so. So, Lloyd, what are you going to tell them about Clios?
I don't think anybody wants to hear my stories about Clios anymore, if I'm honest.
I
do you? Okay, well, I'll tell you when you get back.
Right, okay, I'll see you
Enjoy.
shortly.
Yeah, so we just wait for the incident to be cleared and sorted. We will, once again, thank you for your attendance. If you're still here, thank you. We do appreciate your attendance and your support to this event. It's a nice place to spend your afternoon. It has been obviously more incidents than obviously ideal, but these are very, very difficult conditions. So as long as everybody's all right, that's the main thing. So we'll get this cleared up and sorted, and we'll be back underway very shortly. Right, thank you. We've just had a slight break. So just while we get this sorted, the sun has reappeared over this beautiful Shelsley Walsh course. So this is great to see. Hopefully the course will start to dry up a little bit more. As we mentioned earlier, it's a beautiful place to come and see some motorsport. So Shelsley Walsh is the oldest, still continuously used course in motorsports. So it's obviously amazing that we're still using this. Paddock at the bottom. We start by heading off the line, and you'll go first, second, third gear, perhaps into, depending on the car. But you'll do Kennel Bend, and some of the quickest cars in the dry will be 100 miles an hour into Kennel, a little lift, they'll maybe grab another gear, they'll be flat through crossing, 120, 30, and then even more power as they absolutely flat out through the kink, and they'll be upwards of 140, 50 miles an hour for the really, really quick stuff. Hard on the brakes into bottom S. You'll turn into bottom S, having come down the gears from 160 miles an hour to possibly 70 or 80, which still seems like absolute nonsense, doesn't it? That kind of performance. And you'll turn left from bottom S through to top S, and then accelerate your way over the finish, which is sometimes I have seen 160 miles an hour from the likes of Wallace Menges and Will Hall across the line. So with these Judds, they're 1,600 brake horsepower per tonne, 650, 700 brake horsepower. They are utterly unbelievable. The power of these things is remarkable, absolutely remarkable. They weigh about 350, 400 kilos, so they weigh barely anything. They are absolutely incredible. So you should be coming back to see this tomorrow in the dry, and you'll see some extraordinary cars coming up and down the hill. You really will, absolutely extraordinary. So, things that we have on in the coming weeks and months. If you wanted to come back and you want to become a member, as we've spoken about a few times today, if you wanted to be a member and you wanted to come and join us, we've got some fantastic breakfast clubs. We've got some brilliant breakfast clubs. You'll never know what turns up. Come and have a bacon sandwich and a cup of tea and a wander around the paddock. There's some brilliant array of machinery. Again, I mentioned this earlier, you just don't see some of the cars in person that turn up here. Where there's a Lancia Stratos that turns up, Lancia 037, I've seen a couple of those. There's been all sorts of Ferraris and Lamborghinis. You just don't know what's nearby. Our next breakfast club will be, that's going to be 6th of September, actually, so we are a little bit away, but we have got Cars in the Valley, 18th of June. We've got Supercar Fest coming up on the 13th, so that'll be quite the week. So Cars in the Valley is brilliant. It's a lovely, I think it's the last Thursday of a month. Lovely Thursday evening through summer, beautiful mornings, beautiful evenings. The Courtyard Bar will be open. And we'll have plenty to see and do. So lots to talk about there. So Bike Bonanza, 4th of July. We've got the vintage meeting as well, the VSCC stuff, some of the old stuff coming up the hill, some of the really historic bits and pieces. Driving school on the 7th. So if you want to come and have a go at Shelsley, and you want to try your hand at going up the hill, we have driving schools. We have people that will teach you the ropes. Trevor Willis being one of them. He's one of our instructors here. No guarantee you will get Trevor, but there's lots of very good instructors here. We've got Classic Nostalgia. That's the big meeting of the year, 18th and 19th of July. That's Group B rally cars, World Rally cars, all sorts of cars of interest. We have a fantastic atmosphere here. So it is a real two-day event. You can spend a day here for the atmosphere. You could spend a day looking at the cars. It's a really good event. And obviously, in July, Hopefully you'll get the weather, but kids will be off, I would have thought, at that point, so there'll be a good thing for to take the kids to as well, if you are so inclined. Then August, we've got the 8th and 9th Championship Challenge, so we've got this meeting again in August. Normally, it's the better weather, it's the better conditions of the two. You never know. This is England after all. I mean, it is June, and we had summer last week, didn't we? So let's see what happens there. And then we have Cars in the Valley in August. So a bit of a quieter August. Obviously, people go on holiday, don't they? So September, it all starts to happen again. Breakfast Club, Harvest Festival. That's our last competitive evening, last competitive weekend, and then Chill on the Hill. That'll be a fantastic one. 19th. So we'll have a bit of a sort of general anything and everything up the hill.
Hello,
I'm Billy. Back. I was just about to say we have a general anything and everything up the hill.
Yes.
Chill on the Hill.
Chill on the Hill is a great event.
And I think I remember the Airstream going up the hill, did it not?
That was at Piston.
Oh, was that at Piston, was it?
Yeah, and I seem to remember the first thing I had to do was raise the starting gantry thing so it could get underneath it. You know, the flag across the start line.
Yes, I can see
it's
how
too
that
low.
might be an issue. Yes.
So, but the Airstream has been up, yeah. In fact, I'm going to have a word. I think it's the fastest motorhome ever. And I'm just looking in the programme. And they have, if you look on the, by the way, if you've not got a programme, please do get one. But in the Hill record, it's got closed car record, ladies record, motorcycle, pre-war, sports car, electric car, Shelsley Special for non-sports cars, three-wheeler, estate car, SUV, bicycle and running, but it doesn't have motorhome. And I'm going to have to ask...
Must be a motorhome record, surely.
Well, I think it was timed on the day, so if we can find the time. It took a while, and I'm surprised it fitted. But hey, it's a V8 motor, so off it went with all 190 horsepower from its 7.4 litres V8. How they've managed to only squeeze 190 horsepower from 7.4 litres, I don't know where the rest of it is, to be honest. But anyway, yes, so I don't know if they do have a record or not for a motorhome, but they should. But yes, that is a fantastic event, as is the Harvest Festival, which is the Midland Round, which is a really, really good weekend.
Yeah, absolutely.
And also... of course, the August meeting will be fantastic as well.
Yes, it will. I was just saying that it's normally the better of the two meetings in terms of conditions and so have So
well, I think the oil is still coming out of the tarmac here.
Yes.
From the re-tarmacking over the winter, so. It's also very wet today.
Yes.
But the oil is coming back out and the tarmac needs to bed in. But I didn't realise, did you know it's 2007 was the last time it was fully re-tarmac? So I didn't know that. I didn't until I read it in my commentator's notes. But it's 2007, so it's been a while. I think it'd been re-tarmac through the S's after that, which might be what led to the record, whenever it was. But in 2021. But it hasn't been fully re-tarmacked, and you could tell it was getting pretty bumpy through the kink, which they've massively sorted. So yeah, it does take a while for that tarmac to bed in, and 2007 I think was the time when over the two runoffs, Martin Griffiths broke the record, and then Scott Moran broke the record, and then Martin Griffiths broke the record, and then Scott didn't, and it stayed with Martin. Over the two runs.
Gotcha.
Was the 2000.
It's funny, I was just looking through all of the records, all the class records and everything. So I have a programme, and just to echo your point a moment ago, if you don't have a programme, get one. It's actually really, really, there's so much information. Even I still didn't know. So Darren Luke, who holds two records, he was a customer of mine. I thought, where do I know that name from? He bought cars from me at Land Rover.
Did he really?
Yes, and I've just looked and thought, Darren Luke, Caterham 7, and there's all these little records within records, and Richard Snow, 31.17, he got the record for the class. Series production cars over 2 litres.
The oldest one is, Darren's got quite an old record there.
It has.
2012. That's quite old.
So here's a question for you. Do you think, so I was looking at this one a second ago, I was thinking, is anybody going to take the Jos Goodyear 1100 to 1600cc? Because those cars are getting quicker and quicker. So I'm just wondering, is anybody going to take that record away, do you think?
Where's the record?
24.16. 29. So Jos Goodyear, GWR Raptor, 1600.
Yeah, I mean, maybe. That's 2012 as well. I mean, it's possible. Let's see in August how quick because I know Dave Warburton's done a 24.5-ish up here. He'll come and tell me what his PB is when I see him later. Maybe into the 24.4. So I wonder if the tarmac's worth 3/10.
I do wonder, but I also think it's
possible.
It's possible. I mean, that GWR Raptor was. I mean, I remember that Joshua Goodyear car. It was mental.
Well, it was when it was into the supercharged version, which is also his record, and it's a 22.86. Look on page 31 at Class K2. That's a phenomenal time.
That is a phenomenal time.
Yeah, he's in the 22s. There's not many people who are in. I think there's only about 6 people that have been in the 22s.
I do wonder. Well, Paul Hames. I wonder what Paul Hames' best PB is up here. That's probably
in the 23s, I think. But again, he's got new tyres, which is good, and also it has been retarmac. So you never know. You never know. I'm going to have to check on that because one of those records is the wrong year. Because if you look at the programme, the class record for Josh Goodyear on a 24.16 was set on the 19th of August 2012.
Yes.
In the Class J2. If you look at Class K2, the record of 22.86 was set by Josh Goodyear on the 19th of August 2012. So unless they turbocharged that car over lunch break, one of those years is
entirely possible.
Quite possible.
Entirely possible.
But unlikely.
Scrutineers wouldn't be happy.
No, well, it's an incredible piece of engineering. But to take 300cc out of the engine it's wow. So I think one of them is not quite right. So we'll get that looked at.
Fact check.
We'll get that checked because one of them won't quite be right. But the times will be right, just maybe the year's wrong. But yeah, those are 2 old records, aren't they? And I wonder if any of them will be. I tell you what's also quite old is actually the Formula Ford record is Ben Tranter as a 31.89.
11 years, yeah.
Yeah, that's got to be
tomorrow.
That's got to be under threat given the quality and depth of the Formula Ford class here. If not tomorrow, then. Maybe the following.
That's a really good point.
Yeah.
Really, really good point.
Yeah, so we'll wait to see on that.
Jimmy Harris flies along. Caroline Ryder knows this place like the back of her hand as well. Max Hawkes is rapid as well. Andrew Hent. God, there are some people gunning for that record. You're not wrong there, Billy.
There are, aren't there?
I do look at the record. I do like looking at the record sometimes.
Yeah, it's nice.
I think,
isn't it?
what could I have? If I wanted to have a record? I want a record. So what do I need to go and buy to have a record? And so I can't help but coming back to. I wonder if I could borrow a mate of mine's electric Taycan Turbo S or something to do. Because I thought about this, the estate car record. I thought that's such a good idea because there was an RS6 there for a while, wasn't there? And then Dan Prosser from Autocar and all of the other places. Oh, he's in the intercooler and everything now. He took a Porsche Taycan S Sport Turismo, which is unbelievably quick car. Obviously it's electric, so make of that what you will, but it is an estate car, and
quick.
It was quick, and it was 31.46, and I think the previous record was a 32, early 32s, and he did a 31.43, and I know Dan's a bit of a driver, but you can't help but think, I wonder if a bit of local knowledge might come into play, so we can nick that record maybe. Or
also you forget, and I forget, and I've just looked at it now, that the class record for the unlimited class cars, for the cars over 2 litres Class L, is Matt's Riders, right?
Yes.
From last August. August before, August 24, 22.61. So that was not without retarmacking, 22.61, and that was 24. So, yeah, I think if it's nice in August, it's going to be pretty exciting.
Yeah, I think you're probably quite right there.
So, which would be good to see. But, I think it's... I think those records are under threat. The other one I've talked about is if you look at the Shelsley Special record for single seaters is actually still Mark Colton's from 1994, and I'm guessing that's just because there aren't many cars registered as Shelsley Specials anymore, and I wonder if Alex, given it's this P40 or P80, but maybe P40 is a one-off. Would be registered as a Shelsley Special if we go for that record.
Do you know what, Billy?
I'll go and ask him.
I think he's probably just got you've got the cogs whirring in his mind there, I reckon.
Paperwork.
Yes, fire up the paperwork. Yes, absolutely. Get that pen clicked. SUV record, Gabriela Jilkova. Were you there?
Yeah, that was.
Remember when Hammond turned up?
Yeah, what was it? A Porsche?
It was a Porsche EV, but it was when it was the new Cayenne electric.
Last year.
It was last year, but it was all camoed up and everything, wasn't it?
Yes, I remember now.
Hammond was here, wasn't he?
Yeah.
And he had to go, but then Gabriela Jilkova, who I think is a Formula W driver. possibly. Formula
Do you mean
Academy
Formula
driver?
E or W Series? Or
Either.
I'm not sure.
Bicycle?
I'm not cycling up here.
Running?
I'm definitely not running up here.
Okay. Riding a motorcycle, I ride bikes, but even I think
yeah,
that's...
but have you seen those guys? They're
That's brave. Yeah,
right?
that's brave.
Yeah.
Really brave.
But yeah, so also I'm just trying to find in the programme, have we got the points as the championship stands? Anywhere? I think we do.
Good
because I thought I'd just
think
talk about it.
I think we should talk about it.
For where we stand. Also, I'm really looking forward to the Tin Top Challenge this year. I know we were talking about it earlier, but I think it's going to be really strong, and we haven't obviously seen the entry list yet, but we know there's going to be at least 5 very quick cars with Damien Bradley's Legacy, Simon Bainbridge's Audi, Stephen Darley's Impreza, and the 2 Moran cars, which is an Evo and which by the way is 5 different cars as well, which is quite fun. I know it's 2 Subarus, but one's a Legacy and one's a Impreza, so 5 different cars. 5. By the way, I can see a silver Subaru in the paddock with its cover on. I don't know if that was the one
it was the chalk car.
Okay. Anyway, I think that's going to be so close. Stephen Moore's quick as well.
Yes.
And who knows what else may be coming out of the woodwork.
Do you know, sometimes I always find as well, you'll get one rogue Audi RS3 that's got about 500 horsepower, and someone I've never heard of driving it before, and they'll just fly up here and do a 31-second run, and you'll go, huh?
Do you know what I'd like to do?
Go on.
I'd like to have a chat with what's-his-face, who has the Gobstoppers.
Roger Clark and Ollie Clark.
Thank you, Roger Clark.
Yes.
Now, I don't think Godstopper 3, which is his latest one, which is the one based on the BRZ, which is...
That's a track car.
Yeah. But
Godstopper 1 or 2?
1 or 2, but definitely 1. Very hill climbable.
I think 2 would be the car.
Oh, the hatchback.
The hatchback one, yeah.
Maybe. It did win. I mean, it did win Goodwood, wasn't it?
It's got some aero.
It does. But either of them, I'd love to see them come out and have a play for...
I tell you a car that I think Damien would not like to turn up. If I said the words...
Stopper.
Be begging, please don't turn up. If I said the words Michael Ratacek and Evo 8...
You say that. It's an amazing car, but can you use all that power here?
I mean, remember when we were sat in that complex, when we were having a little bit of a walk and a look, when they came into that hairpin and there was like sort of S-bend out of the hairpin, the way they put their power down. Now, I know obviously the European time it's a bit wider, but I mean, Michael Ratacek is... Well, he's some driver. And it looked like it just hooked up and went. And I mean, you can run slicks and everything as well, can't you? So I think he'd probably be all right.
Yeah. I think it'd be fine here. It'd be fun at Prescott.
Yeah,
imagine tight.
He'd probably just stall getting around the Tories.
It'd be interesting as the boost came in between the two.
1,000 horsepower.
Yeah. So anyway, I'm really looking forward to that. And then anyway, the championship this year. So I don't have the championship standings in front of me. They're not in the programme, but that's because I'm presuming the programmes were probably sent to print before the last round of the championship. But as it stands, really, really close between Matt, Will, and Wallace in the three V8 GR59s. Tenths of a second separating them every weekend. Where was it? The record went twice at Cregantlet, I think it was.
Cregantlet, wasn't it? Yeah.
I think Will was under it both runoffs and still finished second, and then Matt was under it both runoffs and won both. So I think that's. But for those that don't know, you get a extra point for breaking the record in the runoff.
I didn't know that.
You didn't know that?
Did you really?
Yeah,
I did not know that.
Yeah, you get a point if you break the record in the runoff.
I only came to the sport 2021, so that's my excuse.
Okay.
That's my excuse.
Fair enough. But it's the record as it stands at the beginning of the meeting. So let's say there's runoff number 1, and in that runoff, let's say the record is 30 seconds, and in the first runoff you do a 29.5. You get your point for breaking the record. If in the second runoff you do a 29.8, you're still under the record as it was at the beginning of the meeting. So you'd still technically have broken the record, so you still get another point.
Right.
Yeah. Yeah, exactly. So in Cregantlet, Matt got 22 points, which is the best you can do. I think Will got 20 for 2 seconds and 2 records.
See, I think so. So again, touch wood and everything like that. But Will he's Mr. Consistent,
He
isn't
is
he?
this year.
He's Mr.
Yeah.
Consistent. He's just always there, isn't he? Always there. And he feels like a
is.
man on a mission this year, you know?
I can't call it between the three of them. It's too close. It's tenths of a second, if that, in every runoff.
It is. It's so close, isn't it?
It's brilliant.
Because I think if I'm honest, it feels like this is the first year since Matt's been in the big car that there's been. Because obviously Alex was it last year or the year before last kept Matt very honest in the championship, and then obviously Wallace had his unfortunate accident at Cregannet, so he was a bit out of the game. He was a bit hurt, wasn't he? I think for a bit of it. So it was kind of. He had a few rounds, I think, and that Matt kind of took that on with. I think it was Matt and Alex went off in the distance with that, and then obviously now we've got Will, who's firing absolutely on all cylinders.
I think. Was last year his second full season with the car, or was it his first full season? I can't remember. But anyway, I think Will's got a good amount of data now, and of this car at all the hills.
It just looks so well sorted,
doesn't it? They all do. Let's be honest.
Yes.
Anyway, so the three of them are really close in the championship, and then behind that, and I can't remember which order because I haven't got it in front of me.
What page? We got a.
It's not in the program.
It's not in the program,
unless I can't find it. But off the top of my head, it's been a great year for Paul Hames. After a slightly difficult Prescott, the last three runoffs, he's finished fourth, and fourth, which is a fantastic achievement in a, as Dave Warburton calls it, a scooter engine with a hairdryer. Which was really annoying. I was on social media, I think it was, that this was posted, that Paul was on a roll this week, and I was going to put, not bad. Someone put not bad for a scooter engine, and I was going to comment saying, don't forget the hairdryer. And I then went on, and Dave Warburton had written, with a hairdryer attached. I was like, he got there first. But anyway, he's doing really, really well. As is Trev, who is always there or thereabouts, having a great.
Harry Pick is worth a mention, I think.
Nicely as well, isn't he? I think he's in the top 10 at the minute, going very well with the re-aerodynamicked MS28.
Very good use of terminology there.
If not, I think it's a word.
Re-aerodynamicked.
They've got a much bigger rear wing. They've followed the sort of GR59 model. Both the GR59 and the MS28 had slightly narrower rear wings when they were first created, and they both got, I think, a bit of extra downforce at the rear would be quite nice here. So and actually, if you see Harry, he's going really nicely in this year. And the car did always look a little bit tail happy with the XD in it because it's a lot of power. And it just looks a little bit more planted, I think, this year. So I think it's making a big difference. Alex Coles building on a fantastic year last year, putting isn't it a 7 on that car, so well into the top 10 and going just as well this year. He's had his last two runoff was a 5th and a 5th, right behind at Gersten. He was right behind Paul Hames, who got 4th and 4th. So Alex has had 2 5ths, which is great. I talked about Dave Uren goes really well at a number of the hills. I mean, the car is well known, and especially here goes really well. Oh, I'm just going to listen. Hang on a sec. So I'm just heard on the tannoy that practice for the 2-day meeting practice this afternoon is cancelled. There won't be a second run for the 2-day meeting today. I don't know if that means that the 1-day meeting will get their second run or not. We shall wait and see, but there is not to be a second practice run today for the British and national competitors as the incident on the hill is being dealt with. So just once again, there is no second run for the practice, second practice run for the British and the Midland. I will investigate whether there will be the second run for the 1-day meeting. I'll just check. Lloyd, I'll be right back.
No problem at all. Yeah, so obviously the incident's being dealt with, so just taking a little time, obviously every care taken. So massive thanks to our marshals and medical teams and organisers for putting the interests of our competitors first, and yeah, you're all superstars and heroes, and none of this could happen without you. So we'll wait to see what Billy can find.
So just an update for you, just as I just said, unfortunately the second practice for the national and Midland competitors, so those competitors that would be running tomorrow, has been cancelled. The second runs for the one-day meeting, the decision will be taken on that once the incident on the hill has been dealt with. So I don't have an update for you as on that at the moment. I will update you when I know more, but the second practice for the two-day meeting is cancelled. So we will await further news on the one-day meeting. Anyway, we were speaking about top 10 competitors, weren't we? So where did we get to? We spoke about Alex Coles, who's having a great season. We spoke about Paul Hames, who's having a great year.
He is indeed.
Then we've got some other competitors. Dean
Ty, yeah.
Yeah, Dean's doing well, bless him.
He did. He had a bit of an off.
Yes, but we'll be back. Just they're repairing the car. He'll be back at the next meeting in the Wraith. Great to see Dean here, all the way over from Australia. He's shipped that car back, ironically, to where it's from here. So shipped that car all the way back to the UK to compete all year, which is a fantastic commitment and effort, and I'm very much looking forward to meeting him and see how he gets on with that car for the rest of the year. I mean, it's a massive undertaking when you think about it. Got to learn all these hills. You know, he's never been here before, learning all these hills from scratch is pretty impressive, isn't it?
Yeah, it is, absolutely. It's we were saying earlier, weren't we, obviously, that Australia, the hill climbs are a little bit more threaded through trees and they're slightly less quick. Well, they're just slightly different, aren't they, to the British hills?
Yes.
They're probably a bit bigger. I can't say I've ever been to Australia or seen the hill climbs. I've seen a couple of them.
Do you know one place they do a hill climb?
Cool.
Is Bathurst.
Do they really?
Yeah.
That's cool. I didn't know that.
Yeah, Google it. Oh, it's on Facetune, which is the social media site. It's on YouTube. They do it, and actually, one of the competitors has a 55.
Wow. Okay.
Basically has a.
You were telling me earlier. You were telling me as we were. Sorry to segue, but I think it's a really, really good little story. But you were telling me earlier that the engine from your dad's car is now in Australia. Am I right thinking?
No, the chassis.
The chassis. Sorry.
Yeah, I think so. So his Malak is out there, which was his first ever car. He sadly, as you know, had a stroke a couple of years ago, so won't go back to Australia anytime soon.
Yeah.
But last time he went, he actually met the chap that owns his Malak, which was pretty cool.
That's pretty cool.
But then, so the Malak's there, as is which he shared with Alan Warburton.
Oh, really?
Yeah, they started together. And they didn't have any money to lighten the car, but they did have a drill. So they drilled, you know, the red kill switches you get on these cars?
Yes.
So they drilled loads of holes in it. So everyone thought, wow, that must be light. They've gone to the extent of actually drilling holes in the starter key. It was the only thing they'd done. But anyway, and we've still got that starter key. It's on Dad's desk.
That's very good.
Yeah, I think it's brilliant. But anyway, so the chassis out in Oz.
Oh wow!
But they have a hill climb at Bathurst, and there is a Gould GR55 that competes out there, has done for a number of years, and Martin Groves went out and competed in it. Was invited by the bloke that owned, I think, to sort of teach him how to use them, because This was 15 years ago or so, maybe
course,
more.
of
So if
course.
you were going to ask someone to go out and teach you how to drive a 55, why wouldn't you ask the bloke that keeps winning the championship in one?
Yeah, why not?
And he went out and he competed at Bathurst in it. And there's also one in South Africa, a GR55, which they have, and I can't remember the name of it, quite a famous South African hill climb that, again, if you YouTube it, you'll find it.
Oh, I'm trying to think what it's called. There's like 1,200 horsepower skylines and things that compete in that one.
So the 55 has quite often won that event.
Wow.
In fact, I think it won it this time out, just gone.
Amazing. And the 55 is running a Judd still?
No, both of those is a Knick-Mac, I think.
Oh, okay.
The one in Australia, I seem to remember, is the smaller Knick-Mac, which is 2.65 litres. But I think it's or is it Cosworth? I can't remember. But it's I think Knick-Mac did do a smaller one, which was the same engine Basil Pitt had and Simon Durling had it, if memory serves. But anyway, so it's got the smaller I think it's 6.5 or could be 2.8 litre engine in it. The one in South Africa, I think, is 3.5. I think.
Right.
I'm just waving at Archie Cooper, who's just wandering around down there. Anyway, and then there is the other one there is one in Ireland. I think the person who owns it is called Sylvie Mullins, I think, who circuit races it in Formula. So there's Euroboss. Have you heard of Euroboss?
Yeah.
So there's an Irish version of that, and there's someone who uses a 55 in that. But he's Sylvie Mullins' car, and he's repainted it in 7-Up. You know the Jordan livery?
Oh, yes,
from
the green.
90s.
Yeah.
One that Michael Schumacher raced. He's got it in that livery. It looks brilliant. As a GR55. It's really cool. I'll show you a picture of it when you're down here later.
Yeah, that's interesting. I like that.
Anyway, so yes, it's pretty impressive, really, where all these, going back to what we were talking about Dean, about how all these cars have made their way around the world, all built here. Quite a few, I think there's a few OMSs competing out in Australia as well. And actually, there's also a couple of OMSs in Malta as well. And where else is it? Is it Spain? Do you remember when we did the Masters and there was no OMS and it wasn't a British one?
Yes, I remember that.
So yeah, it's really cool that. But anyway, so great to have Dean part of the championship and actually, again, doing really well at getting the car into runoffs, which is fantastic. Next car I'd like to talk about is Jonathan Varley having a great year.
He is, isn't he?
Now,
talk about Mr. Consistent.
Well, yeah, and I think he's been 11th quite a few times, which is, you don't get a number. So for those again who are relatively new to hill climbing, where you want to finish is in the top 10 because you get one of the hallowed numbers, 1 to 10. They're the only numbers that are fixed all year round. Everybody else's can change as the year goes on. Yeah. And I think Jonathan's in a great position this year, having a fantastic year, got some really solid points. Didn't unfortunately qualify for the runoffs at Gersten, but it was really tight. But earlier on in the year, got a couple of, I think, 6th and 7th. Really, really good results, and goes very well at Doon. We haven't been to Doon yet. Alex Summers, having bless him, he's had a bit of a disjointed year as he's getting the P40 and P80 up and running. He's in the P40 this weekend with the V6 and went very well at, was it 7th at Gersten?
I think it was, 7th, yeah.
So went really well there, putting some good points on the board. I'm hearing, he said to me earlier that he was hoping the P80 might be out at a clubby next weekend at Loughton, at Midland Round.
That would be cool, because I think on its dynamic debut there was an issue with the front suspension.
But he's almost got that fixed, and then that hopefully will be out, I think, very soon. And once, I mean, the P40 is getting quicker and quicker, and that's only got the 2.5 litre V6. But once he's in his V8,
he's going well, isn't it?
Well, exactly. And then once he's in the P80, which has got the same V8 that came out the back of his DJ. In the back, that's going to be a really quick car, and I think a shoe-in for runoff qualification as well. He did 150 over the finish when he was here before, 145.
Well, it's a lot lighter as well, isn't it, than the DJ? Am I right in thinking the P80?
I think it's lighter, and I think just more advanced aero as well. The DJ's aero package was slightly older.
Yes, it was, because it was. You might have told me this. I think it wasn't it a Formula E tub?
No, that's the Gould.
That's the Gould. Sorry. Yes, the Formula. But what was the DJ then? Was the DJ just completely original tub?
Yeah, I think so.
Wow.
But the tub that was the Formula E was the GR50.
Yes, it was. Sorry, it was. You did say. Apologies.
Google Formula E first. If you Google Formula E show car from the first one, when they launched the series before they went to Spark, I think it is in France. To build the extra.
Yeah.
You look at the show card, it's GR59.
Yeah.
It even looks very similar to a GR. Anyway, so
Cool.
yes. So once we see Alex out in the P80, I think that's going to be really exciting, and we'll be eschewing for runoffs.
Yeah, absolutely.
Jack Cottrell,
Yeah, well,
bless him. Unlucky start to the year.
Great to see that. He had a fire over the line. You weren't.
At Prescott.
No, it was here.
Oh, right.
At the season opener.
The test.
The season opener. The test day. He went over the line and. I noticed everything came back down except for him, and his car came back down with fire extinguisher material and everything all over the back of it. And I asked him what happened. I was chatting to John this morning, his father, and essentially it's. It had a fuel line just behind the driver's sort of. Imagine behind the bulkhead.
Right.
Fuel line just caught, went up, and obviously. There's some very expensive wiring along that, and it's very expensive and very difficult. Obviously, as you can imagine, wiring looms, they're quite flammable. And they've just had to completely rewire the thing and re-oil line and fuel line the whole thing. Because obviously, with a fire, you can't take any risks whatsoever. But it was just like engine out, But obviously, these engines, it's not like you just drop a software out. The whole thing has to come apart, split in half.
Oh, hang on. Sorry, no, I was just seeing if there was an update, but no, that's fine. But also, Bless, and then he came to Gersten, but they had a problem at Gersten.
Yes.
So he did one practice run, I think.
Yes, yeah. I think John was. I chatted to John this morning, and he was sort of saying, I think, it's just going to be just enjoy the rest of the season now, and get a few, maybe get a couple of British, Midland rounds done, and just.
He could still put a number on it, though. This is the thing. He's going so well in it. We're not halfway through the year yet. I don't know if they're doing the Channel Islands though. I don't know. But you're right. Just qualify for runoffs. There's no pressure, and just go as well as you can. But anyway, so another car that we can expect to be right in there or thereabouts for either with a number on it or very close to having one. Who do you want to talk about next in terms of?
I tell you somebody who I think it's an interesting thing to pick up points on. So there is a bit of an elephant in the room this year. There is two Goulds running this year, Sean Gould and Gould Senior, and they are running their. Is this the OG Gould? Is this the 84, the first one. This won the championship in 1985. Would your dad have been up against this car back in period? 85.
Good question. He would have. I don't know if he'd been in his Malak still at that point.
Got you.
So then he had a sports car. So Dad had a Pilbeam sports car.
Right, yeah, got you.
Which is the MP50?
Yes.
No, 40 something. It's not a 50 because that's a single seater, isn't it? But anyway, I'll check. But he had a 2.5 litre Hart in the back, which is the same engine, incidentally, that's in the Gould.
Yes. Yeah.
And,
so
went very well in it and put a solid number on, 5 or 6 or whatever. But anyway, so I don't know if he was in the sports car or the Malak at this point.
Got you. Well, I think it's lovely to see.
It's great, isn't it?
Sean and his father. Obviously, they've the GR59 that you'll know holds the record here, and I think it's obviously that car's now in full ownership of the Ryder family, and the Goulds are. Now sharing their original Gould 84G. I believe Sean is building a new car. Am I right?
I don't know, actually.
I don't know.
David was quite tight-lipped earlier. So
was he? Oh, secrets.
But what's quite nice is the first Gould is in the paddock next to the most recent Gould.
It's really cool, that, isn't it?
Because the Wills was the newest 59.
Can you imagine, right, any other motorsport where the first car from that manufacturer is racing against the oldest car, so the newest car from that manufacturer? Where else do you get that?
I don't know, actually.
Be a bit like
Brawn, when Brawn was in Formula 1.
Well,
there's only 2 of them though, so I don't know if
that's a bit of a loophole.
Come on, though, it's a good loophole.
It's
a good loophole.
This is a good loophole.
But you're right. How often do you get them in the same category and also park next to each other?
Yeah, it's very cool, I think.
But I'm going to ask him. I don't know why they're not entered in the historics.
Yeah.
But anyway, so Yes, I don't know what their plans are.
Well, okay, so two other people.
Enjoying playing with that.
Enjoying playing with that thing. There's two people I'd like to talk about. The next person, Dave Uren. I think Dave, that car looks like it's going really well. It looks like it's as quick as ever. I mean, obviously, not a great end to the end of the season last year, but amazing to see how beautifully prepared that car is now. And it's just, it looks really, really strong. They really look fired up this year. It looks like it's putting some really good times in, and just looks like a good strong package, to be honest. That thing.
Yeah, of course, I agree, and I'm looking forward to. He goes well here. And
again, do we think Nicola could perhaps take her record even further under her 24.60? I think it was. I wonder if that could go again this year. I think it'd be fascinating.
Again, when we get to the, let's see how we get on for the meeting in August.
Yes,
I think would be the key to that.
But the final thing I think I'd point to, like, Graham Wynne is obviously enjoying his new car. So, what of his old one? Do we know where that is? Has he just kept it? Is it for sale? He's
still got it at the moment. I don't know. If it's public for sale or speaking to people, it's a good question. But he's still got it, because
that's a current car.
I don't think he's in any rush to sell it. I think he's quite.
No.
I don't think there's a rush, but you're right. That's a pretty cool car, and yes, it is. I mean, it's the thing is about those is they are very complicated and quite expensive to run.
I can imagine.
So
yes.
I think. It's not just buying it; it's running it.
But that is the latest, greatest of the GR59s, isn't it? I think Graham Wynne is quite.
Wills is newer, actually.
Is Wills newer? Is it?
Yeah.
Got you. Right,
so Wills was the last one built. Right. Graham and what was Sean's and is now Matt's were built about the same time.
I see. Right.
Yeah.
Okay. Understood.
And then we haven't spoken about Dave Warburton in terms of potential for getting a number back on the car. It is difficult at the minute with there being so many fast cars with more power than a 1600.
Yes.
And he just got 11th last year. And I know he's not done all the rounds this year, so he didn't do Gersten. But to be honest, I don't think he usually scores points at Gersten because it's too fast. But I don't know if he's doing both dunes. I'll find out when I'm having dinner with him later. Because if he's doing both dunes, I can't say dune. If he's doing both dunes, then he's got a good chance of getting really good points there. He's 1 year he qualified third for the runoff, like a couple of years ago. Because it's that'll be interesting. So really, in summary, we don't know who's going to finish where.
Well,
was that a good summary?
Who would you put your money on?
Definitely one of those drivers I've just spoken about.
100%. Yeah. Well.
Yeah.
Yes,
I can't see anybody else winning it.
No. Well, you're 100% right. Yeah. Absolutely. Yeah. Definitely one of them.
Yeah.
Out of all the drivers that are going to win, it's definitely one of them.
Yeah. No. Exactly that. But yeah, no. I had a look at Graham's sports car. It's nice. I like it.
It is a nice
thing.
Cool. Isn't it? It's a nice thing.
It's just different.
Why has it got mudguards? Is it
because it's not a sports car?
So it can go into a different class.
It's in the sports car class.
Sports car class.
You have to have closed wheels. Enclosed wheels, should I say?
I see.
Which is why it's got enclosed wheels.
Yeah, well, that makes sense, doesn't it? That makes total sense.
And I don't know. I happened to have a look again. It's got a sort of beam. It's got the main rear wing, and I don't know if that's bigger or smaller than the other forces. But then it's got a really cool sort of beam wing that goes along the back of the bodywork, just at the rear end of the engine cover, which attaches to the rear mud guards, in effect, which obviously you can't have in a single seat because there'd be nothing to attach it to, but you can on this, which looks lovely. It went very well in it earlier, I must say. It's I tell you what, those forces are going very well. I don't know if you also follow or keep half an eye, which I do, on the British Sprint Championship results.
I don't, but enlighten me.
Well, it's very similar to. They don't at the moment. I seem to have any cars in the unlimited class, from what I can see. But there did used to be. But this year, being dominated by a young chap called Ethan Faulkner, who's got a 1600cc Force TA going very quickly.
Oh, I think I've seen that.
And he was actually on the news because he has got. He's doing fantastic things. Look him up. He's really impressive. He was on the news recently. and he's only in a 1600, and it's going very quickly. But anyway, there is another force sports car in that, but there's about 4 forces of 1600, 1100, and then the sports car in sprinting. They're doing really well in sprinting, and there's a couple in Scotland in the Scottish Championship as well. So they're doing very well. So yeah, it's quite exciting.
It is rather, I'd have thought. Yeah, absolutely. So, I mean, I think.
Anyway, yeah. So I'd love to see Ethan Faulkner. That's what I was
Yes.
going to say, at a hill climb at some point, because he's rapid, very quick indeed, dominating the sprint championship. I'd love to see him here at Shelsley one day.
I don't think I think I can completely understand where the bug comes from, because it's such. I know it's a short shot of adrenaline when it comes to any form of motorsport. So, like, you know, Le Mans, you'll just sit there and you'll probably steer the car a bit, and I'd imagine they're all quite calm. Whereas this,
I don't know.
Well, yeah, no, I know, but like for the most part, they're probably just obviously just managing things. They're probably calm, just, you know. Whereas this is 25 seconds of sheer madness, you know, and adrenaline. I can, you know, it's a shot in the arm, just away you go. But I think.
And sprinting's quite similar.
Yes, which is quite. Yeah, it's very frantic, isn't it?
Yeah.
But I'm amazed at how easy it is to catch the bug, because obviously that you still see where your minor improvements are. I'd be amazed if anybody could ever say they've had the perfect run. You know, there's always something. It feels like there's always something that you can do that could be a little bit better.
It's a bit like qualifying at Monaco.
Yes. Well,
did you see how I segued into something that's happening today?
You segued into that. Do we know yet?
I don't know if we're allowed to say, because I'm not going to say, because there will be people here who have got it recorded so they can watch it when they get home.
Yeah. I know that.
Should I ruin it? I didn't expect to see the Astons in 1-2, did you?
No, well, I tell you what.
See, that doesn't ruin it.
Can you believe that?
Because everyone knows that's not going to happen.
No, well, you never know. It's
you
Monaco,
do. You know.
It could have rained.
You know. It could,
no, you're right. Yeah.
You'd have to have flooded, I think. But yeah.
Yeah. I mean, I think I don't know how in love with Formula 1 I am at the minute, to be honest with you.
See, now this is a rabbit hole.
I don't know how in love with it I am.
I think that. I think it's not you. But I think it is very easy to criticise rules, and we all remember last year when there wasn't really any overtaking, because, and even in the glory years, people say, "Oh, I wish it was like the '80s." What, when Senna and Prost disappeared off into the distance and nobody else came anywhere close, unless the one race they didn't win.
And there was no overtaking.
Yeah, well, there was a bit, but then they crashed into Suzuka. But then, you know, the fact that we do have overtaking now. Whether you think it's fake or not, I don't know. It's hard to. I don't know.
I think you're coming. So right, okay. I haven't got an issue with the cars. I like the fact they're smaller. Yes, of course, a car should be at its absolute VMAX at the end of a straight when it should be on the brakes. That bit I understand. You know, and it shouldn't be running out of puff halfway down a straight. So I totally get that. But the thing I have an issue with, and don't get me wrong, very lovely to look at, but when it's Sky Sports do a sub banner and like coming next Kim Kardashian, and I'm like up next Kim Kardashian. What do you mean? What do you mean up next Kim Kardashian? She's gone to the Grand Prix. Like, they're making a thing out of Kim Kardashian and Lewis Hamilton for the I don't know.
I see.
Do you see what I mean? Like, because Kim Kardashian's there this weekend, and I know I'm talking about it. I shouldn't be talking about it. Yeah, she's there. But it's like,
you should stop following her on social media.
I can't. Well, yeah, but they're playing on that though, aren't they? And it's like it's more about the show, and actually, my algorithms on YouTube do kick up some stuff, such as 2005 Canadian Grand Prix highlights or something like that, and you think I miss that kind of racing. But of course, the other side of the coin is that more people than ever talk about Formula 1. You can relate to more people about Formula 1. I remember growing up at school, and it was like, "What, do you like Formula 1?
Yeah.
What, you don't like? What, you don't like football?" No, I mean, I do like football, but it's like, well, I don't like Formula 1. That's nerdy, isn't it? And it's like, well, no, but no one talked about it.
You're right.
Whereas now, you can talk to loads of people about Formula 1. That's the good part of it. But I don't want them to forget that it is a motor race.
Yeah, I agree, and I don't necessarily think that the move to V6 hybrids has meant that all of a sudden 1 billion people watch Formula 1. I actually think if it's still V10s or V8s, it's probably the same. I think Liberty Media have done quite a good job at appealing to more people. Whether you think that's the right thing to do or not is a different question. But in terms of the rules, I quite like these new rules because, like in the last, if you watch qualifying at Canada, it was very exciting because you didn't know who was going to be on pole, and they were all on the limit. Yes, in a straight line, they get near the end of the straights and they're going a bit slower. Fine, but then they're not the difficult bits anyway. The difficult bits are the twisty bits. And they're still right on the edge.
I like the fact they can follow closer. I like that.
I like the fact that in the last few races, 4 manufacturers have had a chance of winning the race. And there's been more overtaking than we've seen than we have in previous years, in a factor of 10 at some of the races. So is it artificial? I don't know.
I find it interesting that they announced these new regulations, and then I think Bin Sunliam, he came out and said, no, we will go back to V8s and V10s. And you go, well, why would you say that now? Because
he tends to talk a lot.
Yeah.
He does like to chat.
He does like to chat, but I think...
Which is ironic. That is a very hypocritical thing to say from a commentator. But...
You are joking.
Yeah, he's talking. Me? No. But anyway, he's an interesting character, Divisive. I'm not sure I think about it. It's thanks to him there's no Masters, so I can't forgive him for that.
That's a very disappointing.
There's one he can do to get my forgiveness.
And that is?
I'll turn the Masters back on.
There
you go, it's very easy.
Where should we have the next Masters?
See, I think
if you could choose.
There was, I don't know where, it depends on who wants to go in for it. I heard talk of if the Austrian one goes in.
What, like Begrennen?
No, Begrennen's the name of the series.
I don't know.
I think that's German or Austrian for hill climber event.
That would make sense.
Hang on a minute.
That's the end of the day.
So I've just heard an update. Unfortunately, we won't be running any more cars today. The B meeting has been cancelled whilst the ongoing event is dealt with on the hills. So the meeting is now closed. That has brought an end to the meeting for the day as the incident is ongoing. Lloyd, I will say goodbye from the both of us, if that's okay now. Thank you ever so much to everyone for coming today. And we really hope you're going to rejoin us again tomorrow. The weather will be sunny, and we're looking forward to a fantastic day of competition. So thank you very much for joining us, everybody, and for bearing with us. And we look forward to welcoming you back to Shelsley tomorrow. Have a good evening.